Hang on, I got a call here. Here's an interesting ancient Chinese proverbs. Subscribe to Kombat Kings. What that means is that you get good luck if you subscribe to Kombat Kings. I'm Chinese, so I get to make that joke. And a 3, 2, 1. Konnichiwa, watashi wa Sonic desu. Sune, Kombat Kings, Get it? Because I just came back from Japan. Yo, what is up, guys? This is the Kombat Kings podcast. Do not cringe! Do not cringe at me, Snake! How dare you!
Don't tell me not to cringe. Tell yourself not to make other people cringe.
I wish my family went on group vacations together, girl.
Take your girlfriend. Take your girlfriend, dog. Take her to Japan.
Oh, we do. We went to Hawaii and stuff.
Or take her to Peru. There's a destination.
She has zero interest going to Japan, though. Too crowded.
Peru,
Yeah.
then.
Oh, you have the same thing. My mom says the same thing, so we go to more rural places because of
Taiwan. Go Taiwan.
We're going to go to Singapore for sure. So I guess we'll get our Asia fix that way.
Taiwan is known as one of the most dense, like what's the word to use? Like, the most amount of people in the smallest amount of areas. You know what that means? Like the phrase. Yeah. So, not to say there's like everywhere is crowded, but that's one thing. Anyways, I'd like to address one thing. You know, the little bit of the elephant in the room. I was about to say room in the elephant, but thank you
The room in the elephant.
very much for taking over an episode while I was in Japan last time, especially our guest Shred, who helped out with this. I appreciate, dog, you leading the charge in that episode. You were the host. You were the man hyping up all the conversation topics. You try to get everybody pumped for each of the topics.
I did my best, but we learned for sure now that if you're not there, Sonic, immediate drop in viewership. They're like, I don't want to watch this. Sonic is not here.
I think it's topics. I think topic-wise, I think that's, it's like, it's hard to get everybody into all the evil fighting game conversation stuff. There was one part that I thought was extremely funny. It was like, because you guys talked about all the fighting game themed information, and then when you guys finally got to talk about Marvel Token, it's like, Marvel Token, guys! This shit looks so awesome. It looks hype as heck. They released like the gameplay stuff. They explained how do you play the game now. What do you guys think? Did you guys watch it? And Shred's like, no. Snake's like, no. And you're like, oh, I'm not gonna play the game for like another year, so I didn't watch either.
Well, also it's all in the wrong language too. Well, not wrong language, wrong for me. But like, I'd like a translation. It's like it's got Marvel Disney money. Can you give me like a translated video, or I have to like read subtitles the whole time? But yeah.
Really? Wait, you didn't have English? I remember there was English when that came out.
Oh, maybe there was then. I guess I just didn't like how it was a long video. I feel like it's a long, too in-depth. I don't know. I had different things to do that day maybe. But yes, I thought what was funny is the intro too, where it's like, okay, so we're going to talk about Evo. Did you guys watch Evo? Nope. Oh, got it. Just like,
yes! I thought that was pretty funny.
Just immediately, yep, nope, got it. And like big full screen for everyone, just like get the idea right away. It's like great. Fantastic.
I did love the ending too, where Shred just walks into the sunset. That was very funny. For
a fun fact, it did not actually end there. That was an editing agreement we all decided on. I was like, wouldn't it be so funny if he just left into the light and just never came back? And they're like, yeah, we'll just switch it around so it ends that way. And I was like, nice.
I think Snake's going to enjoy this episode, and I'm not going to tell him why, but I think he's going to enjoy this episode. Anyways, today we got some MK topics we wanted to talk about, some new stuff, and then some things that haven't happened yet, but I know some behind-the-scenes stuff. So,
cool.
Take us away, dog. What's new with MK?
So they finally had the last trailer for the Legacy Collection. They revealed Mythology Sub-Zero and Special Forces, which we assume would be some of the games they added. The only game they have not added that was in our assumption of the 4 games, because it turns out there's not 4, there's 3, but more on that in a bit. Don't lose hope. There's some new information in that regard. The one game they did not confirm, or rather deconfirmed, is Gold. Mortal Kombat Gold's not in the game, so that's unfortunate. The main theory is that it's a Dreamcast game, requires different emulation, and they don't feel like either forcing it to run through the wrong emulator, I guess, or including somehow both emulators in this one package for just one game. They don't feel like doing that, which, yeah. Go ahead, Snake.
So, MK4, we're getting one version, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's the arcade
Just one, okay.
I guess so. Actually, I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Because I think it was. I'm sure I've seen people say it was the arcade version, but the problem with that is I'm pretty sure the arcade version has the in-engine endings, not the full cinematic ones. And
Yes.
so if you watch the N64 version, that's what they have. And so that means Reiko is literally just walks through a portal and that's it. The Shao Kahn bit was added for the home versions. That's not in the original ending.
Snap.
So Gold would have been a good excuse to get those endings as we all remember them, the big CGI versions, in the collection. But unfortunately, they seem to have opted for just one version of MK4, and it is the inferior one for anyone who doesn't give a shit about online play.
Yeah, unfortunately, because when I sent my clip when I was in the Sendai Festival talking about MK Legacy Collection, I did say one of the things I was looking most forward to is getting those footage for my videos easier because of the collection. Heck, there's even the character select screen of the differences between the game they're doing. I'm like, oh, that's sick. I can use that for my videos too when I'm talking about characters and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they're gonna upscale and make it HD, but I still think it would have been nice to have the gold ending cutscenes. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go on YouTube to look for those again.
Thankfully, there's tons of awesome people that have upscaled that kind of stuff like that, which is fantastic for video making.
There's also, I believe you can just set up fatalities in this thing.
Oh yeah.
Similar to I guess you like the fatality training in the NetherRealm games, which
Modern
is
game.
They do have that. Mm-hmm.
which actually is more. I think you can actually choose a stage as well, which is I believe more advanced than MK9. I don't think you could choose a stage in MK9. I think you're
Maybe
stuck
not.
with the training stage. So yeah,
Cool.
with this, midway MK will be objectively superior to MK9, and you can't argue otherwise.
Hey, I'm all down for that opinion. I'm tired of people jerking off MK9 like it's the golden goose.
Damn,
If
hot takes
if
all
MK9's so good,
all
why
in.
they're not selling it again?
Yeah, checkmate, atheists. God is real.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
I would like to bring up one. I would like to bring up one thing about the Legacy Collection that I think is kind of cute because I forgot. Did you guys mention this in the last episode where there was an interview that was revealed that the people who made the trailers had no idea what they were doing with those question marks? The question marks meant nothing. But in the newest trailer, they show those same question marks flipping into special forces and mythologies. So it's almost like they retroactively did utilize those question marks to do something by the end.
Yeah. They were told the question marks were mystery games to come, but it was not supposed to be correlated with the number of question marks. Yeah, and people thought 4.
I see.
Which, I mean, to be fair, that's a very correct assumption to make.
It was close.
Yeah.
And it was close because we had 3.
Unfortunately, the one that we're not getting is the one I was personally the most excited for because I played MK4 a little bit at the arcades. I never had MK Gold, except for emulators, obviously. So I was like, darn.
I know. I saw some of your tweets. You were very disappointed. Yeah. And I mean, you boast about in your videos. It's it makes sense for MK Gold. MK Gold is coming, guys, and it didn't happen.
Sad times. But we are getting a game that nobody expected. That is the rarest Mortal Kombat game to ever exist. Only a handful of people have played it, and that's WaveNet. So that's really cool too. Should we talk about that next?
What's WaveNet, Mr. Dog?
What? Yeah, so Ketchup and Mustard made a full video about it already. As I was halfway done finishing my video, they posted theirs. So now I'm going to wait 5 days to post mine because I don't want to steal any thunder. But I was almost done. I was like, because I was asking Babe Ruthless because she knew a lot of information too. I was double checking stuff with her. And she went, oh, well, you can just watch this.
Yeah.
They just posted it an hour ago. I was like, shit.
Such is the life of a Kombat King.
Such is the life.
Because I feel like they put out that trailer revealing all that stuff not long after we made the last episode.
Yeah.
So they keep doing this to us. They're watching. NetherRealm people are watching us. They know.
Hey, you think that's bad? They posted the final trailer for MK Legacy less than 30 minutes before my video talking about what's going to be the last thing revealed in MK Legacy. And I'm like, they never posted 11:30. This feels like it was done out of spite because they know my videos go live at noon and they were like, let's cut them off at the knees. That son of a bitch.
You've been too successful, Trinidad. Gotta start to somehow reduce your views. they say.
My channel actually.
But you
is
have
on the
been
up
very
and up.
successful,
My videos
Jordan,
aren't
dog.
getting more views on average, but I'm more channel views on average. So that's pretty cool. I actually am on the up and up. Thank you. For
Yeah, you've been
noticing.
doing a lot of reach this
Evergreen.
milestone, I'll do this, and you constantly reach that milestone. It's like it makes for a lot of entertaining segments. I showed my family the moment you cut your beard. I'm like, hey, look, he's like this now. We're in Japan, be like, oh, he looks very different now.
That video blew up so much. People loved that for some reason. People liked that more than my front flip, which is surprising because I feel like a front flip is impressive, but they cared way more about the beard shaving than the front flip. I was like, huh.
Yeah, although it grew back very fast. I was gonna make a joke in this episode. I was gonna be like, Viltrumite! Or something like that. But it looks like you kind of got your beard back already by this point.
That was we keep getting off topic, but that was an even great. Sorry, that was a fantastic accidental coincidence. That my thumbnail had Omni-Man. I put Omni-Man in the thumbnail because his buff in the game was so stupid and minuscule. They made his low attack safe on block, and it's like, but. They made his low attack slightly better on block. So I put him in the thumbnail because he got almost nothing, right? It's like the tiniest of breadcrumbs. But then the funny part is I made myself a Viltrumite by shaving my beard and leaving just the mustache. So I made myself Omni-Man, which people were saying in the comments, like he became a Viltrumite just to stand with Omni-Man. And it's like, yeah, poor guy. Anyway, back to WaveNet.
Funny.
So what makes the WaveNet version of Mortal Kombat arcade cabinets so cool is they had online play, which is awesome. There was one in Chicago, one in San Francisco, and they could play each other. I don't have any information if there was local play also. I'm assuming there was, because it would be ridiculous if not. However, there is a theory as to maybe it wasn't, because apparently even if you won 10 games or 5 games in the WaveNet cabinet, you had to put more tokens in to keep playing, even though you were winning.
Oh,
which is not the case for any other arcade game. Normally, winner stays on. New challenger puts in tokens because they lost, right? But I'm guessing if it's only online and no local play, that makes sense why you have to keep putting tokens in because no one would technically, be losing because this is 1v1 the whole time on your own cabinets, if that makes sense. So that would give credence to why the winner keeps having to put tokens in because there's only like you at that cabinet at once. Anyway, it had online, which was dope. Also, it made Noob Saibot playable for the first time. That's also interesting. Before that, he was just a boss character, like a secret boss. And
I see.
That's why they show him in the trailer. And I'm not sure if the green glow on his attacks is just a special effect to make it look cool or not. If it is, that's lame. Because if that's actually how he looked in the WaveNet version, that means that MK1 Noob Saibot is a direct reference to the first time he was playable on WaveNet. That's why his moves are green.
Huh.
I always wonondered why his moves were green in MK1.
What if that is a reference?
If it is, that's the coolest thing ever. But nobody played that game, so what a weird reference at the same time. Like, cool reference,
True.
Nobody gets it. Because nobody played WaveNet.
Maybe like when developing Noob Saibot back in 2024 when they released him, it was like, we're going to do the collection, and people are going to notice that Noob Saibot is going to be in the Wave UMK3 or MK3? UMK3, right?
It's UMK3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Wave version of UMK3, because Noob does it there. That's reference that, because that's coming out in 2025. I don't see them being that smart, but it would be cool if that's the case.
So it's literally just UMK3, but Noob Saibot's playable, and it had online play. But
some patches from what I recall, right? Like it's actually like
okay.
Yeah, they actually some changes.
Because I'm thinking, well, the original UMK3 is going to have online play in this. So other than Noob Saibot, what's really the point in preserving this version as well? Is there anything else?
Yeah, it's the update. There's some tiny buffs and nerfs to characters. The nerfs we know for sure. So, but like the problem is no patch notes back then. You had to play the game and actually find this stuff, right? And it's all just hearsay.
Interesting.
But the three things that most people agree is actually a change that happened is that infinites were removed for at least 2 characters. So Striker's infinite with his machine gun went away. Kung Lao's hat spin infinite went away. You couldn't loop it anymore. And Cabal's Nomad Dash, which is instant in UMK3, had more startup to it. You could see the little step and then ran, so you could see it coming now. It wasn't just instant. And it had a new sound effect too, which probably was also done to make it reactable. Now, those are the 3 we have that are confirmed. There's more theories like, Cyrax's throw had more pop-ups, so you could combo off his throw, but all that's just grain of salt. Like, there's no way to know for sure.
That's interesting. I want to ask, so it's like, this is kind of like lost media, but then it's like, they just decided to bring it back and added it into this collection. So that's why not a lot of people know like what the actual even like patches are. Am I getting this correctly? Like,
yes,
nobody had this
the
game.
least played Mortal Kombat ever, because not only was it only in those 2 cities, there's only 2 arcade cabinets that were ever made because they were communicating with each other to play, right? Those are the only 2, and they're only in those 2 specific arcades. So unless you went to that arcade in that specific city during that brief window they were there, you've never played WaveNet Mortal Kombat. There was no way to play it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty cool, actually. Like, before exploring and stuff like that.
Which it's interesting because until this got announced, MK3 was the game that everybody was excited to play, because since UMK3 came out like about a half a year later, because people were so mad with MK3 that Midway rushed that new one out. It was like, here you go, all the characters are back. Like
Alpha,
Scorpion's
put
here.
in Chun-Li,
Here's
put
some
in
more
Ryu.
characters.
Ken.
Yeah, just like Third Strike and Chun-Li and Ryu. Yeah, exactly. So they threw them in, and as a result, MK3 until WaveNet was the least explored Mortal Kombat game, because everyone moved on to UMK3 or went back to MK2 because they despised MK3. So there's not very much tech and secret stuff that people learned in MK3, like infinite and guaranteed nonsense, all that, right? So it would be fun when the collection comes out for pro players and just tournament players, or just people who love playing the game and finding stuff, like Aziz, right, on Twitter. They're going to find actual dirt in the game, like fun tech and nonsense, because they're going to actually be looking now. That was interesting. But now here's WaveNet, which is just way more fascinating.
Even more,
Nobody
yeah.
on Earth has played that. Like, less than 100 people played that. So that's crazy
Yeah.
to think about.
Because to be fair, like MK3 is accessible to everybody for the last 30
Yeah.
years, but WaveNet isn't. So that's even the more obscure thing about it. So I think everyone's going to hop onto the pros are going to try finding out like what did they change in that and whatnot. This is kind of cool.
It would be interesting for this to become like the new tournament standard for UMK3, because being part of this collection is readily accessible. It's not like it's this is like Vita version of MK9 or something where you go, well, most people don't know that version, but here it's like this is just with all the rest. In theory, if people gravitate more towards these balance changes that were made, this could be the go-to tournament version of UMK3, which would be fascinating. Yeah. Like, has that ever happened before? Where, like, the tournament standard version has changed like 20 years, 30 years later?
Not typically, and it's something I've always wanted to happen. Like, for example, over a decade ago, when Third Strike was given online and put on Xbox 360, people were all excited about that. It was like remastered and all that. I was hoping for a balance update because that game was horribly balanced. Like, only 5 characters in Third Strike are actually good. And no changes. They usually preserve how it plays. Yeah.
I believe like the one I can think of right now is like Melee, because I believe like tournament Melee is just like fixes, but like these small tiny little fixes may affect the game from its very original stuff, but it's mostly just bug fixes that won't make the game like crash easily, and they use that version in tournaments. That's the most I can really think of as the years gone by, right?
Does Melee have ice climbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melee is also one of those rare tournament games that has unwritten rules that almost every tournament follows, but it's not limited by the game itself. Like the scene themselves, the community decided these are the rules. Like the infinite throw loop with ice breakers or ice climbers is like banned now. You can only do it like 2 or 3 in a row. Then you have to let them go.
I forgot if it's tournament or tournament based, because like even like right now Ultimate, by the end of when Smash Ultimate came out, it was like, unfortunately, it's like the game actually was pretty balanced, but then at the very end, it's like the final patch comes out and people are like, did you know Minecraft Steve was actually busted? And so like everybody started playing Steve, and like that's like it's 50% everyone else and 50% Steve players. So like some
Luke.
Tournaments will ban Steve and whatnot, and because of that.
He's
And, I don't know why it's
Street
always the
Fighter
last
5.
patch. Like people are kind of like begging Sakurai to be like, can we just have like one patch, please? This is the same thing happened with Bayonetta and Smash 4. Why are we doing this again?
It's weird too, because I don't get why you would change anything if people already like how it's going. Like, why did you even add an update?
The thing is
Because even
also
when
it's
Steve
like
first came out and wasn't broken, people still agreed, oh, he's pretty viable. Like, Steve can do stuff that really throws people off in this game, and
yeah, Steve became bullshit like half a year after the game ended. It was all of a sudden that people started being like, hang on, Steve is really busted, and that's why now like the Smash Ultimate scene, half of them are Steve players and stuff like that. But yeah, on that topic of like what Snake just said, the thing is, will UMK3 be that competitive of a game, or will this like return like matter for this? Don't know. Did the
It
the
would be really
Capcom
sick
fighting?
if at Evo next year they bring the Legacy Collection as an option, and you can like enter specific tournaments, because that would have the same, I think, hype that Third Strike did, where it's like, yo, Mortal Kombat Trilogy or UMK3. I don't know which one is considered the most tournament-y of the tournament Mortal Kombat classics, but whichever one
Yeah,
it
that's
is,
right.
imagine it comes back for just Evo. That'd be sick.
I think it's Ultimate 3 generally, because Trilogy has a few things that are busted, and particularly with the boss
Yeah.
characters and that. But
Ah.
I'd have this funny idea. Imagine a tournament where it's okay, it's MK3, and every match it's a random version of MK3 from the collection. One match it might be MK3 arcade. Next you might be on like Game Boy Color vanilla MK3. Next you're playing. Then you're playing this new version we're talking about. Then you're on Tiger Barcode's version. You don't know what you're gonna get. You have to deal with it. It's like, oh no, my maid. Tough, live with it.
That
It's gonna
sounds
be
like.
fun, too.
Have you guys ever seen a Mugen tournament?
No,
You know the
but
game
I
Mugen?
I can imagine it being
Yeah.
very chaotic.
I'm in Mugen now, but I had the bicycle kick.
Oh yeah, I love that clip you edited. It's so, I want to see that. I'm excited for that next video.
That could be such a great character for Mugen, where it's like it's a character who's called like FGC, and he just morphs into different FGC people doing various moves from fighting games. So
Different memes of FGC.
Bicycle kick input, dog doing that. Then it's like, oh hey, the uppercut. It's like Maximilian doing like an uppercut, and then you do like the leg sweep, and it's Sonic. The backdash is like Babe Ruthless or something. You know, everyone gets it one
Yeah,
move.
yeah. That sounds really cute. What I was going to say just then was dogs, kick, shit. Oh my gosh, brain malfunctioning. What were we talking about again? MK3.
Mugen tournament.
Mugen. Thank you very much. The Mugen tournament rules is somebody would download Mugen, have like I don't know 1,000 playable characters all in that game, and then the Mugen competitors sit together. They press start, and both characters and a random character to like fight each other.
Oh.
So it's like active salty bet.
And it's like legit. You might get the most BS like I don't know, Ultimate Shadow Dio or something, and the other opponent is just like base Ryu, and it's like this is unfair and whatnot. Or Ronald McDonald, that's the one that shows up constantly and whatnot. And it's kind of fun. And the funny thing is, by the way, I think I saw 2 tournaments of Mugen, and it's like you might think, oh, the randomness might affect like obviously it's gonna be a BS like random machine lucky game. The funny thing is, I believe the champion of like 2 years was like the same person back to back who won like again. So it's like maybe there is some skill if the same person could win both Mugen tournaments. And I think it was at Evo too, if I'm not mistaken, at one of those.
Makes sense to me. The only thing I dislike in Mugen is when like the character you want to see, all they have is like a sprite version of him. It's really small, and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh.
The title of the video said blank versus blank, and I was hoping like they'd be roughly the same size, but one's like a normal fighting game character size. The other one's like Super Mario Brothers, like really small, and you're like, that's not.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, I've always wanted to see Ryu from Street Fighter go up against Solid Snake. What do you mean it's Metal Gear 1 1982 MSX Solid Snake? What the fuck?
I've never actually got to play Mugen. I'm curious. To me, it's like just videos. I've only known it through videos. I've never gotten to play it. So if y'all know how to actually download and install it, please let me know. That could be fun to try sometime.
I had a friend who played it, and it's really easy. It's just it's a game that all you do is constantly throw mods into it. Getting the game itself is not hard. Yeah, it's not too
Oh,
hard.
but you got to download all the characters separately and all that, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yes.
It would be cool if they found a way to make a website where you can play it like through your browser somehow, and it's all just like there. That'd be sick if they could find a way to do that.
Well, it's all fan orientated, so nothing is official there. So
Gotcha. But yeah, that's all the information I can think of for MK Legacy, except for one light at the end of the tunnel. There's an interview that I have not seen, apparently, where the developers are interviewed because they're really nice. They always talk to people during interviews. I want to interview them myself at PAX this next week because I'm going to be there. It's a free trip. They're paying for it. I'm going to interview them myself, and I want to ask them about DLC because apparently they have confirmed that DLC is either an option or it might just straight up be there. There will be DLC. I'm not sure which one they said. The point is they're talking about it and they're open to it at the very least. And that has me excited. I thought it would be just this one thing, and that's all you get. You buy a Legacy Collection, You install it, that's the game. Because I can't think of any past collections where you can download stuff. Usually it's just in there as it is, in my experience. So this is cool that they're actually going to do DLC. And if that's true, maybe we'll get gold as DLC.
There's occasionally updates, but generally speaking, I mean, that's the thing. If there's ever a licensing issue, DLC is the way to do it. Like, well, because they only get a cut of, presumably, of the sales from that DLC. So if there's some reason where it's like, oh, Eurocom, or whoever owns Eurocom's rights, whatever, they made gold, so they need to get paid for it. Well, make it a separate part of it. They only have to share that money, not the whole thing. So it could be. It'd be very nice. There's plenty of other releases that I'm missing, like MK4 Game Boy Color, one of the terrible ones. Apparently, I think they said why it's not in there or something, because it's trash, and it's like fucking MK Advances on there, one of the fucking worst games to ever come out. Really, motherfuckers. Remember, the big point of pride is, oh yes, we're bringing back MK Mythologies and Special Forces.
Special Forces. Preserve the trash. Preserve it.
Yeah.
Art needs to be preserved. Wait, so I heard that correctly, right, dog? You are going to interview the developers of MK Legacy Collection.
Yeah, they're going to be at PAX West. They're going to have their whole booth and everything. So I'm going to interview them. I'm just going to walk up with the camera, because if everyone else is allowed to, I don't see why I wouldn't be allowed to. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. If you wouldn't mind, I have one question I would like to ask, because if the games are all bundled together, that would mean like you can get all the arcade endings and stuff like that. Maybe they had this in some of the other collections, but I'm not sure if they have it in this one, or they didn't really show it. But is there like just an easy way to just like gain access to like look at the endings immediately and not needing to play through like the arcade endings to just see all that? Because like in Mortal Kombat 1, if you want to look at the arcade endings in the game, you got to beat it and then you can see it. So I'm not sure if that's an option that they could just like add, or something.
I'm imagining it will be included like that, where you can just look at them, because they have a viewer for every character sprite, for Pete's sake. Like, you can go to this one part of the game and just click Liu Kang and look at his sprite in every single game. So if that's a feature, I don't see why the cutscenes wouldn't be. Now, as to whether or not you have to unlock them first, we would have to look at their other collections they've done. I don't actually own any, so I don't have any reference material for that. But they did the Ninja Turtles collection, right? I think they did.
Yes.
And that collection is so expansive and so amazing. Apparently, it's got its own built-in search engine. You can like search for what you want and it finds it, because there's that much stuff to look through. So they're like, here, just straight up search for it, because they have so much stuff in there. I mean, they're even including behind-the-scenes stuff and timelines for the games, like mythologies and all that. So
I wanted to actually bring that up, because that's one of the things I'm very hyped about, is like that whole like lore book, or like like the lore of the like the past MK games that they're going to add into that. It's like, that sounds pretty cool. That means like there's going to be a lot of like canonical confirmed information there, or maybe even new stuff we didn't know about there confirmed.
I'm sure the lore book all the stuff in that physical book will just be in the project itself, like Gerald's journal for Shadow Generations. Well, you get the physical version, but it's not exclusive to that. I mean, imagine that much effort just for a limited run thing. Like, that's a bit much. If it's all in the game and it's just nice to have a physical version, then that's probably the way it's going to go.
Oh yeah, you both got the is it deluxe or like the ultimate edition? Like,
no, it's the collector's edition of the Legacy Collection. So it's legit the word collection twice in the title.
Collector. So you both are gonna get the Goro like handle and the lore books. Nice.
Which is crazy,
see
because
that from you guys.
A big Twitter person who's a Mortal Kombat fan, I should say a big Mortal Kombat Twitter account, was selling some of his figurines for cheap because he just wants to get rid of them. And he gave me his Kentaro statue for like 600 when it goes for like over 1,000 normally. So I'm going to have that too. So I'm going to have Goro and Kentaro both behind me. That's going to be incredible. And I'm getting the new statues from Epic Creations, which if you want, we can talk about them more later on in the video, because I think he makes really cool stuff. Well, it's actually a company. They make really cool statues, and it's all fan done, and they're just incredible. I ordered 2. They're so good.
Saw those. Yeah, they look really I'm excited to see the Sub-Zero one. That one does look really sick.
It's so cool. He did an unboxing recently.
I will support and buy their stuff when Reptile's there. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I mean, he's down for any... Well, sorry, I should say they. It's not one guy. He reminds me it's not one guy. they're down for a lot of stuff. You know, I was bouncing ideas off them because they wanted to do a Shao Kahn figure, and they had some ideas. I was like, wait. Well, have you considered doing his victory pose in MK9? And they're like, what's unique? What
mean
is
this
that?
one?
And I was like, when he does the little hammer over his shoulder like He-Man, and the random slave woman comes out and like lovingly grabs his leg, and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. Like they're already discussing how they would do it and whatnot.
What's it called? Finally, more love for the random slave lady. That model actually is like an SFM or something, if I'm not mistaken. I remember you used that like in one of your pictures, Snake. Like you can actually use that model to just be like a supporting background character. She deserves more love. Random slave lady needs more love.
I'm not gonna lie, I straight up thought that was Sonya Blade in MK9 because she's also blonde. It has like a ponytail.
Here's the funny thing: is you know how MK fans like to latch onto the most. There's nothing to this character. It's just barely a concept, as Gamora said, and
Lin Kuei girl.
Fans will latch onto it like Meat or Tremor or Scarlet or Hydro's the current one, and fans just latch onto these nothing concepts and make them real characters. Floyd, arguably. So after we get the current hyperfixation, which is Hydro, the next one would probably be Lin Kuei girl, but we might be able to pivot it into MK9 random slave girl and get a whole backstory created for her, a whole moveset. She has like a command grab where she goes down and grabs you by the leg and like squeezes it tight. You're like, oh, leg cramp.
Her attacks are gonna be chains. She's gonna like throw chains around
and then her fatality is like the opponent like backhands to the floor, and then Shao Kahn appears behind them like, get away from my woman, and just smashes them.
Yep. Or it's
her
his
stand
like
is
Shao
Kahn
in MK2 or whatever has a move where he just points to you, and she comes in from behind, like how Ghostface has two characters. She just comes in and grabs her ankle, and you're like, oh shit, and you're stunned, and he can like go in and get you.
She'd be such a good cameo character. Holy shit.
She would have been really creative.
Too bad they're never doing cameo fighters ever again.
General Shao's concubine.
I posted this screenshot only because I thought it was funny how Baraka died in a way that makes it seem like he's going for Shao Kahn's leg also. I found that very funny.
Oh yeah, he's got both. Shao Kahn has like both. Baraka, you tried. You learn from her.
What could have been? We could have had Slave Girl in Mortal Kombat 1. Cringe.
We could have had Slave.
Too bad Mortal Kombat
slaves,
1 is
guys.
woke and gay.
But no, they had to give us. They had to give us Madame Bo. I want Slave Girl to give us Madame Bo.
Madame Bo.
You know, I'm conflicted on that because on the one hand, I love that Madame Bo became a cameo, but also could have been anybody else.
That's
dog.
That's not the joke. That's not the joke.
If you want to put your anger on someone, don't put it on Madame Bo. Put it on Janet Cage. Okay, do not leave Madame Bo out of this conversation. Okay,
that's a good point.
Jeez.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I wasn't making fun of Madame Bo. I was making fun of the way the announcer says Madame Bo. Because they clearly...
Yes, I could tell that, Snake. I could.
That's the
I could
joke.
tell that.
Please don't make fun of Madame
You know what?
Bo.
Modders, get on it. If any modders are watching right now, all right? Take the Slave Girl model, put her in Mortal Kombat 1 to replace Janet Cage, and that'd be hilarious. She just comes in as a fighting stance and just beats the opponent's ass. Like, I would love that.
No, replace Farrah.
Farrah?
Jump on your back.
You're gonna toss her around. Tossing her something. I was thinking like Sonya because of like the blonde hair and cameo fighter, but I mean Farrah would be very funny.
Chameleon.
So random. But yeah, so those are some of the updated news about the MK Legacy Collection. The more we talk about it, the more excited I am about this actually. I wasn't sure how much I feel about it, but yeah, now it seems like a pretty cool investment and whatnot. Are you guys ready for this interesting next topic that I've got here for you guys?
Let's see. Sonic.
Okay.
Coon.
You know me. I have the hyperfixation of looking up all the behind the scenes and interviews of Mortal Kombat stuff and movies before I make videos because I either want to appreciate more of the product and I want to learn more of the behind the scenes stuff that I want to showcase. Isn't it cool that like Robin Shou, right, the actor of Liu Kang, basically was the fight choreographer for the 95 movie, so all the awesome fights, like he had a major work on that with his fight choreography.
I believe he worked specifically on the reptile fight because that was added later in after test screenings.
Yes, I almost think he also did the Scorpion one too, but I know he did the reptile one.
He may have because I believe that fight originally just ended in the forest but test audiences
Yes.
didn't like it, and so they made a real fight. Oh, and what do you know? These are like the best fights in the movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So see, this is like, I look behind the scenes and I find out about that. I'm like, that's really cool. I have all the information correctly in the 95 video, so rewatch that if I get it wrong. And then sometimes I like looking at these behind the scenes because I just like seeing them shoot themselves in the foot, or just see some really funny interview things. Be like, oh, you should not have said that when the movie's out and whatnot. So I like doing these investigations, and now that Mortal Kombat 2 movie is coming out during October, I'm excited to look up some more behind the scenes information about that movie. And recently there was a interview that came out with not a lot of views on it. It has about like 1,000 views, and it's an interview of Todd Garner talking about Mortal Kombat 2 for like 40 minutes. And in my opinion, I think he gives a little too much insight, not necessarily about the movie, but about some of the behind the scenes stuff that like I'm like, should you be saying that kind of a feeling? But it is some really interesting information. I almost feel like some of these things I like, because Todd Garner likes to use Twitter and he likes to reply to people. Like, I believe when somebody talked about Bald Jade, he's like, watch the movie, there's a reason for that. And that one tweet garnered a lot of attention. People talked about it and all that kind of stuff. But like, he goes way more in depth in this interview, and he talks about like way more of the reasonings, but like nobody's gonna really know about these, honestly. So that's why I think it's really interesting that I could explain them. What's up, Snake?
Cool.
It wanted a lot of attention.
Garnered.
Garnered.
Garnered a lot of attention.
Hey.
Nice.
I did not mean to do that. My bad. But anyways, I actually have like this whole entire timestamps and all the little interesting details that I like timestamp in this interview. If you're interested in the interview, it's like it's made by a future boy who does Mortal Kombat content, and he does like this is a 40-minute interview. If you want to go more in depth, I'm getting the footnote versions. I'm getting more interesting stuff because everybody wants to know about why Bald Jade and why Older Johnny, and he talks about it in this interview. So today I'm going to be bringing that stuff out here. Now, before I get into that, there's actually a really interesting mentality I've realized with Todd Garner when he talks about these movies, or when he makes these movies, that might explain some of the decisions, well, in the movies and also what he says in this interview. So this may seem like a detour, but it actually will come back later on.
Mm-hmm.
In this interview, he actually goes and talks about the first movie for some parts, and like he actually kind of downplays the first movie and talks about its faults during this interview. And what I mean is like, well, he basically talks about, when we were shooting the first movie, there were actually some difficulties because it was filmed during COVID. It was very difficult to, that really screwed over the budget, and that really screwed over the production. And like, he never even got to see this movie on the big screen until it got released, because he only got to see it on his monitor when you should be watching a movie on the big screen for testing reasons. No test audiences, so it was like really hard to get good feedback. So overall, like, it's like he keeps saying all these points, and he also says like, oh, our script had a bunch of things that we wanted to do, but we had to like cut it all like down, cut it all out because of time constraints, or like things that just didn't seem like it worked during like for like a regular length movie and whatnot. And he is saying all this to hype this next movie up. Like, he is saying to be like, you know what? None of this was an issue in the new movie. Our script, by the time we were done with the movie, was fit in like perfectly. Nothing changed because everything just worked out nicely. We had test audiences. Test audiences love the movie. They give great feedback. They are loving it. We're having a good time with this shit. And I'm like, we learned from our mistakes, and we are definitely improved a lot more in this movie. So it's really interesting, like, how he's really using that first movie to like he's almost like he's admitting some of the mistakes in that first movie. He even is like, oh, people didn't like Grow in that first movie. It was expensive, people and whatnot, blah 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 blah, and stuff like that. So I think that's interesting. What's up, Snake?
Cole Young gonna die.
What?
Cole Young gonna die.
That was a mistake. We're gonna fix
I
that
put it this way.
Like we made a mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake.
Be right back, fellas.
Yes.
I have to use the boys' room. Sorry, it can't
Bro.
No worries. I wanna make sure what I'm saying here correctly. What's it called? Again, I'm saying the footnote, the footnote versions. If maybe you don't trust my sources, you can look up the video yourself. I'm just giving the TLDR. I'm just saying like what he says and whatnot.
Yeah.
Of course, he literally doesn't say like, I made a worse movie and this one's better. But he, in the interview, is using that first movie. He's trying to downplay it to make it seem more hype for the second movie. Like, that's definitely something he's implying in this interview. There's also something else he states, a quote he does state that explains a lot. And I'll get to that quote once Duggadoo comes back.
I guess in the meantime, I can talk about something. So,
okay.
Before recording, you asked me if I was going to be playing MGS Delta.
Yeah.
I have been.
You.
Because I got the digital deluxe thingy, which lets you play the game 48 hours early.
I see. I would ask how far you're at the game, but something tells me it's like that doesn't matter because you've already played the third game so many times. I'm sure.
I just got done with the first boss fight. Like I finished that right before this today. So I'm gonna get yeah, and it's an interesting experience so far because there are a lot of quality of life upgrades, like the fact that you can just change to certain camo presets that'll be more beneficial on the fly without going into the menu.
That is cool.
So it's like you just hold a button. It's like, here's a few menu options. You don't have to bring up a dedicated. There's no dedicated radio menu anymore. You just hold down one of the D-pad buttons and then you get a little radial menu with all the different frequencies to call, which I'm not sure how exactly that works for going to ones you don't have yet, because there are certain radio frequencies you can call to listen to music or messages from the devs or little things like that. So I don't know how that works. I guess we'll see.
What happened to Sonic? He looks all sad.
Oh, sorry. I'm just doing this. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay. I'm
Snake
back.
is
Sorry
talking
to cut
about
you
Metal
off
Gear.
One little neat little detail is because they'd said they brought back some of the old voice actors to do some new lines for the remake. The only ones I knew about were Eva and the boss, and I think Snake. So I assumed, tutorials and stuff. Turns out, no, they've redone certain bits. Like, the first time you save the game, Paramedic talks to you about Godzilla, the first movie. It's set in 1964. And they changed one of the lines. Because in the original, she just says, if you want to watch the original version of Godzilla, you have to go to Japan. Maybe if you wait 40 years, you can watch it in America too. And he's like, why is that? And she goes, because 2004 is Godzilla's 50th birthday. And it's like, because the game came out in 2004, the original. So it came out in 2004. But now, they've changed it. So she not only says, and maybe you'll be able to watch it in America and it'll win awards all over the world. It's like, how do you figure that? She goes, 2024 will be Godzilla's 70th birthday or whatever. And it's like, hang on, what? It's like, so they've changed the line to do that. So I imagine other movies are going to get the same treatment. Like, because when you talk to Major Zero at one point, he's talking about James Bond, and I won't be surprised if they made 50 more of those movies. And this was like right before the Daniel Craig era, so I might say, I was surprised if they made 55 more of those movies. It'd be fun to...
Ironically, also, has Godzilla actually won awards? I think Godzilla -1 did, but other than that, has any of the movies won? I'm sure it won awards.
I think Shin won some. I'm sure there's been ones in Japan as well, but then I'm sure at least one of the legendary movies must have got some kind of award, like Best Effects or whatever. There must be something, but it's just funny.
Yeah,
because characters get super prophetic in those prequel games. Like Kaz in Peace Walkers in 1974 is like, we're about to shift from an era of counter-communism to counter-terrorism. And it's like, how do you know that? How do you know that thing in the mouth face? Answer me. So I'm enjoying it so far. Next episode I'll probably have like more to say about it. But for right now, I'm enjoying it.
Nice. I have a friend who's never played Metal Gear, and I'm like saying, like, you can consider this because it is really faithful to the original, and also the third one's a prequel, so it's not like if you start 3 you're going to be like really confused as to what's going on and whatnot.
But of course there's also the fact you can just get the Master Collection, which has Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake's Revenge, Metal Gear on the NES. There's a lot there.
VR missions.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it'd be helpful if they put out an official guide for that. I was going to do it myself, but I never got around to actually making it. But I did write the script for most of it, so maybe I'll finish that up at some point.
Excited for your Metal Gear Solid 3 video. Anywho, so This part is quite interesting. I didn't write it down, but I do remember this. I hope I don't get this wrong, and I'm not paraphrasing. But when Todd Garner is talking about creating fan favorite characters to be shown on the screen, and talking about, you know, the Mortal Kombat characters and how fans can be disappointed with how some of these characters are portrayed on the screen. When he says this, he says something. This is what basically he says. He says like
reptile.
I'm not gonna be a reptile. He's not saying reptile here, but this does imply it. He says like, when fans are asking, I get like tweets of people saying like, when we portray the character A, people will then tell us like, you're portraying character A wrong, and they share a screenshot of what this character is supposed to look like. But then a different person will come to me, say the exact same words with verbatim, but send me an exactly different like screenshot of the character. So they're sending me like two characters that are just not like the same at all. And that's the thing about the characters in the movie. We can't satisfy everyone. And that's just like the fact, because there's so many versions of these characters in the games and all that kind of stuff. So we can only just do what we find best for our versions and stuff like that. Now, when I heard this, I was like, what a great answer. If it wasn't like any other movie or any other franchise. The issue is when people are saying this, they are saying this because you changed the character to be nothing like the games version. Yes,
yeah, it's a real cop out.
We're not going to appease. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We're not going to appease the Reiko fans who want him to be like Mortal Kombat 4. We're going to appease like the with the holding the hammer Reiko fans. We know, sorry Reptile fans, we're only appeasing the monster purely version of Reptile. Like, sorry Melina fans, we're only going to appease the ones who want Melina not to look like Katana whatsoever. You know, this is where it starts to become like, is this really the truth? Like, just because when fans are like, this isn't what this character looks like, it's like, oh, sorry, we're not going to appease those fans. You know, that's when it starts to become like, are you just listening to like the people around you saying that?
It's a common tactic people do. It's trying to pass the buck onto someone else. Basically, he's not saying it, but he's kind of suggesting that the fans are just unpleasable because they want, you know, some fans want this, some fans want. There is a good point to be made there.
Yes, technically, theoretically,
Reptile's a good example. Like, so some people will want him to be like Netherrealm era Lizard Man. Some people will want him to be classic ninja who's secretly a lizard. Some people will want the shapeshifter fuckboy version. You know.
Well, that's because of Mortal Kombat 1's release, but yes.
But like now, if you were doing a new version now, there'd be like three different versions of Reptile people will want to see. But what they did was they made a completely new. It's not even a character. He's just a moveset. He's
a monster.
He's a gimmick. He's just there to be an interesting fight. Oh, this is a guy who's invisible and he's got acid powers. I mean, then that's all he was. Even though he looked the same, that's what Scorpion's Revenge did. The exact same thing. He's a gimmick for a character to fight. There is no personality there. The closest thing to any character we get is that he has a name. He's not just send the reptile, it's send Sizoth. That's as close to a character as we get to him. And that's literally just Shang Tsung saying it, and it was probably ADR'd, right?
Guys, Todd Garner was trying to appease the 95 Reptile fans, the monster one. That's the one they're trying to appease. I'm just saying. That's the one they wanted to see. It's the monster Reptile. You guys want to see that? Check it out. We're going to bring this monster, and he's just going to fight. He's not going to have any lines. Perfect representation. Let's go.
What he said would have made sense if there was like, oh, straight hair Jade versus long ponytail Jade, where it's like segmented, you know, like that would make sense then. Or there's like the classic outfits versus the more modern outfits. That would be an arguable defense. Show me one screenshot, Todd, where someone said, make Jade bald. Just show me one tweet. Show me literally one person asking for Jade to be bald. You can't. It didn't exist. My theory is still that the actress had that as a preference. And they said, okay.
Dog?
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Because I mean, yes, well, I'll put a pin in that because we'll get to that because he says a lot about that aspect. But I felt like I needed to bring this up for you all to understand what Todd Garner's mentality is in this situation. And the other mentality is he loves the test audiences. He brings that up a lot in the interview. It's like, blah, 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 blah. Test audience loved it, so we kept it in. Test audience likes this, we're going to put it in. Test audience approved of this, that's how we did it. So that affected a lot of decisions. It feels like that in this interview. Which
it's a bit interesting, too, because this reminds me of when... Oh, sorry. Hold that thought real quick. Because like the whole test audience thing. This reminds me of when Marvel or some other big comic book people, it could have been DC, but I think it was Marvel, they said that they were going to start doing this group of like super fans who would advise on the stories, like people who are very well versed and very knowledgeable in the comics and just the universe of those characters. They would be like references to make sure the story didn't go too far in the wrong direction. And that's a very reasonable idea in my opinion. But Twitter had like the opposite. There was like a group of people, including some people that are in our group, like the MK scene, that I was like, why are you against this? Are you just like shilling super hard for like Hollywood or something? But they're like, this is such a bad idea. Why would you want fans to influence the writing? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, then why are you doing test screenings then? It's the same fucking thing. But you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's testing the audience.
I think it's a balance.
Yeah, there is definitely a balance because, like, you know, because you often see when a franchise can kind of go downhill is when people who are fans of the thing get involved and like they have particular views of the things, and it can go very poorly when that happens.
Yeah, if they fan fiction it.
Yeah. So you do need to try and find a good balance because you do need to appeal to the fans of the IP. But, you know, fans aren't a monolith. So, again, there is truth to what Todd said. You can't satisfy everyone. So, what do? Do you go for, like, a broad appeal for, like, general fans and, like, kind of take no risks? Or do you go focus on this group of fans? Like, for MK, would it be like, do you just go for what do all MK fans know? Or do you go, well, we want to appeal to, like, 3D era fans. We're going to go in that. Or we want to appeal to NetherRealm era fans. And we're going to focus on that. You know, it's tricky. It really is.
And the thing is, like, I like Todd's like explanation if we're talking about someone like Kano, because like Kano is a character when he first appears in the trailer and stuff like that. It's like that's Kano. That looks so lame. He looks like a nobody. He's just stupid. But then when you watch the movie, like I think Kano works really well the way he looks and the way he acts, because he's also a character that's like a fish out of water. He's like, what the fuck is going on in this situation? Like him not having the metal plate makes sense. It's like he's not like some sort of secret like super badass like Black Dragon boss yet, because he's also just introduced in the Mortal Kombat universe. So the fact that he looks like a nobody Joe and stuff like that, I think works. And also Todd Garner also brings up, it's like, you know, these are characters that are growing throughout the series, so it's like Kano doesn't have a metal place yet. Well, we're definitely developing that for him. That we're definitely moving that towards like a goal for him and whatnot.
Kano's a really interesting one to bring up because the movie Kano is fuck all like the game version. He's one of those characters who is very poorly adapted, but what they gave us is a great character. He's really solid, like whether you like the film or not, he's the unifier. He's what everybody says, that's a great character. That's basically why he's back, is because people loved him in the first film, whereas realistically, you could have just killed Kano off and just left him, but people want to see this character more. And so I feel like that's it's you don't want to appeal to the fans. You don't want to just appeal to the game fans, because now this is a film series. You want to appeal to people who came in and just watched the first movie as well. So you want to appeal to them. Like that's why I think killing off Cole will be a mistake, because there are people who came into these movies. This is all they know of MK, and it'd be great to be able to educate them and go, well, here's all this other cool shit. Here's Johnny Cage, this great character from the franchise, and so that'd be good. But you also need to appeal to those people. You can't just go, well, fans of the games don't like Cole, get rid of him. You know, like it's why like changes into just like the MCU is it can be tricky. Or here's another example: Superman in the DCEU, Justice League.
Okay.
Suddenly he's a completely different character. He's like, oh yeah, I'm this bright, hopeful guy. I'm a big fan of justice. It's like it's accurate Superman, but it's not accurate to the film version they've established. They need to actually change him over time, but they didn't. Like the Whedon cut just brought him into this what he always was. He was always this. They retconned him. And like so, there's a lot that goes into these things. I do sympathise with like his position, but there are certain times when the people involved come out with an answer, and you're like, that is a stupid answer. You know, you can't appeal to everyone. I get it, but that's a dumb excuse, because fundamentally you didn't pick a single version of Reptile or Reiko or Melina or all these other characters. You just did whatever you felt like. And like, so if that's the approach you're going to take, just own it. Just say, yeah, well, we had our own vision for the characters, and this is what we have. Some fans might
exactly,
not like it, some might.
I would prefer if they said something like that more.
The argument
you
should make instead is, like there are these different interpretations of the characters, even just within the games. Like Reptile's a good example. You have the different takes. You have like the shapeshifter, the pure lizard man, you have the secret lizard. Like, so there's room for other interpretations, and like, you know, and you can argue then, well, if your favorite version of Reptile is the pure lizard man, that's not what he was originally. That came later. But if he'd remained like stagnant and just stayed as he was in the originally, you wouldn't have that version you like so much. This is the way you argue this point, is you go, there is already precedent for there being different versions of these characters.
Yeah, we took a stand.
We're trying our own takes. Fundamentally, it doesn't really affect the original versions. Those versions are still in the games. There'll be other adaptations in future that are probably more in line with what you want, but this is our take on the characters, and you might find one you really like. Point to Kano. People really like Kano, completely different from any prior version. And people like Kung Lao and Sub-Zero, and there are things about them here that are different from in the games. And so that, you know, try to be open-minded to these changes, and try and express why you think some things do and don't work, and then we could try and work on evolving the characters a bit more towards what people might like if it's in line with who they are currently. This is the way you make these arguments. I understand it's an unscripted interview, so you don't have time to think about this stuff on the spot, but when you are going to speak on behalf of a property like this, it's important to have something like this planned out. It's like when MVC Infinite, the guy who was in charge of the community management stuff for that, and he said that bafflingly idiotic thing about people don't want Wolverine, they want his function. It's like, you should go into this before you are interviewed by anyone. You should be like, okay, I understand exactly what fans want, what fans are going to ask, and I have answers prepared for very obvious questions. Why are the X-Men not here? Here's why. I can't tell you the real reason, so here's an excuse. I'm not going to say people don't want Wolverine in a fucking Marvel game, okay? If you're going to talk on behalf of something like this, you need to be prepared ahead of time and have some kind of explanation that should hopefully satisfy some people, not just go into it and say a bunch of bullshit that makes you look like a fucking fool, unfortunately.
Yeah. Now, granted, I would say, like, sometimes people are just talking in interviews, so they might not think, you know, it's not big of a deal. Like I said, it's like nobody knows this like angle of Todd Garner's like opinions or about the movie, because this is a 1,000 view interview that existed online. I'm just kind of relaying this, so he might not have thought too much about these things when he says them and whatnot, but that also just might what he be actually believing in and stuff like that. And again, I haven't even got to the spicy things yet, so you guys ready to hear some of the spicy stuff? Even Todd Garner felt more energetic when he wanted to talk about Jade. He's like, oh, I gotta bring up Jade because too many people were talking about Jade, so I just want to talk about her and stuff. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to quote some of the things he says here. So I wrote my notes, so I'm going to see if I can get this correctly. The first thing he deliberately says is, we are not trying to be woke, political. We are not trying to make her less sexualized. And we are not making this decision because of the actress or her decisions. He straight up says that. He's like, we're not doing this for woke reasons. I'm like, that's okay. Right
sure,
there.
Winkety wink, wink, wink. Because you say it, it's suddenly true.
The director and the team decided that the shaved head Jade was the best look for her when we meet her in the movie. So during the context of the film, like, he says this is the best look for her.
I have an idea of what that might mean, but go ahead.
Yeah, Bald Jade was done by Simon and team purely from a creative point of view, and it seems logical given where we meet her. That's what he states in there.
Gotcha.
He also states, but do you guys want spoilers? Because there's a tiny bit of a spoiler he does here. I think I'll say this, but
is it like character dies spoiler, or is it just like motivation spoiler?
What, a character who dies in the story, or is dead in the backstory?
He says something that kind of implies a character's death, or staying alive. I think because you guys are talking about Jade, I think I should say this. But for people who don't want to listen to this, like, kind of mute this for like a minute. Okay. So basically he says it's like the thing what I said with Kano. It's like these characters will eventually grow to their places that are iconic. So Kano with a metal faceplate. Jade will not be bald forever. She will get to her iconic look with long hair eventually.
Well, that's what you mean.
Like he states that.
Yeah.
So that kind of implies she's not dying in this movie. You know?
Say that, but death is just another portal.
Exactly. What if she dies and comes back as a revenant? You know, so it's annoying.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny. She comes back and she has her as a revenant. That'd be like I can almost accept her being bald as a revenant, but it'd be so funny. She's like, yeah, she finally gets her hair and it's beautiful and luscious, but she's also got grey skin.
What's it called? That's the thing that's like funny about like the death in these movies. It's like he really doesn't seem like, oh, this character dies, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Cabal is my favorite character. Goro will come back, guys. Don't worry about it. It's like he's so nonchalant about this. It's like I kind of don't like how casual it is. Just like, oh, characters die. It's like, so what kind of mentality? It's like, I don't know. Like at least like even like James Gunn recently was like, when a character dies in my DCU like movies, like they're dead. Like they're not coming back unless for very, very specific reasons, but when they die, they're dead. So it's like I'd
that's
rather
what the
mistakes.
Ultimate Comics used to do, and it was really respectable. It was cool.
Yeah, that's what I mean with this. So I'm a little bit worried if like we're taking death too much for granted in the Mortal Kombat movies and whatnot. But that's
the games do that too, though. Everyone freaking died in
course.
Deadly Alliance, and they all magically came back in Deception.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and they died off screen too, because that's how fighting games were. They didn't show full story modes back then. So if a character died, it was off screen. Like Johnny Cage died in MK3, right? Or something. And so it was off screen. You never got to actually see it, but then he's playable in 4, right? So what happened there? Like I'm actually asking, I don't know. Like I don't remember the lore of how he came back in 4.
The thing. They don't know. There's never been an explanation. Because in Trilogy, Trilogy it's like
wow.
In Trilogy it's like he dies, but the merger stops his soul from ascending to heaven, so he just goes back into his body and then ascends after the conflict. So you assume, oh well, that's probably the explanation, right? MK4 is just back. His bio doesn't mention it. The prequel comic doesn't mention it. He's just alive. So like the only explanation that makes sense, I guess, is Johnny Cage dies. His soul can't pass on, and so he just comes back immediately. And which is hilarious when you think about it. Like picture this. Everything that went wrong in MK9 is because Raiden tried to save Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage, I guess, would have just come back like 2 minutes later. So what a fucking waste of time that was.
Maybe they'll explain this in the MK Legacy Collection,
Hopefully, yeah.
in the lore book and stuff. So anyways, I want to say one thing. So that was basically the full statement. Now, does this magically fix Jade's character design? Like, is this going to make it better? Probably not. I mean, I'm sure I'll wait for the movie to come out to judge how they handle this situation, but I don't really think this interview necessarily helps that case and whatnot. But I will say this: I am never going to place blame onto Tati ever, or like the actress about like Bald Jay's decision, because Todd has specified that this was a director and team decision. So even if she like influenced it doesn't matter. Like Todd has already said, like the director and the team made this decision. We think this is the best look for her right now. We are doing this. So because of that, I'm never going to place blame on Tati, basically.
I'm wondering.
So with that new context of what he said, I have a new theory based on new information that we got.
All right.
So if it really is a team director decision, which to me sounds like a bit of a cop-out, because someone's at the top. It's someone's call, and whoever's
the
call
director
it
is
to
Simon.
finally decide.
So he says the
that.
director made the call. So
Oh, okay. Sorry. Who's Todd Garner, the writer or director?
the producer.
Oh, so he's not in charge of really any of that.
Simon
He's
is
just
the
money guy.
director.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he says Simon and the team
okay.
made this decision. He says that in the interview.
Did Garner write it or?
Gotcha.
Producer. So you know, like he has some influence.
Producer means you produce it. You fund it. You get all the money. You promote it. All that. Yeah. You're the money essentially. My new theory then, if the team director whatever, I'm wondering if this is another example of just copying Marvel, and they were trying to do the whole every soldier has a shaved head, like what Wakanda does, and it's all women. I wonder if we're gonna get that, because Jade's always been a soldier / bodyguard. So if it's like, oh, all the bodyguards have shaved heads, but then when she leaves Shao Kahn to join Katana, she lets her hair grow out because it's no longer like, you know.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm wondering, could it be that they're gonna have some equivalent of the Umgadi?
That's what I was thinking too, which is just the Marvel thing.
Not Tanya themed anymore, because that's what they are in the game. But like the idea of an equivalent of that, if not outright using that name, and it's like, here's the female bodyguards of Katana and Sindel, and so they are here to do their thing. And instead of all wearing yellow, maybe they all wear green, and like the shaved head is part of that. And it's ultimately, yes, another influence from the Dora Milaje, like taking what was already a very clear influence and taking it a step further here.
That's an interesting theory. I don't know how much influence Mortal Kombat 1 is going to have on this movie, because like obviously they filmed this movie before Mortal Kombat 1's released. But then again, Mortal Kombat 11 had affected like Mortal Kombat 2021, you know, the freaking Shao Kahn statue and stuff like that.
In both cases, it's 2 years between the game and then the movie coming out. So like, I mean, because some of that stuff was just like images that could have been put in like later in post, like the big statue in that, and there's a lot of very specific MK11 details that are in that first movie. So it's entirely possible that they could have. I mean, they could have even just spoken to the team at NetherRealm and learned some stuff and like, well, we're doing this thing called the Guardian. It's like, we could do that with Jade, since Tanya already is Jade. So
yeah, I've already had that like assumption, because it's like they did a monster reptile, and then it's like in Mortal Kombat 1 he's like half monster, like shape shifting into human too. I'm like, oh, are they gonna do it in the movies then? Like, is the reptile like gonna be able to turn to human, and reptile like, is that like the hint or something like that? That's always like what I thought in a way. It's like maybe they had the influences of Mortal Kombat 1. I think we'll find out more after we watch the movie. It'll be like what Mortal Kombat 1 stuff is definitively like, we know that's influence and that's why it's here and stuff like that. I think that'd be kind of interesting to see.
Well, okay. Did Baraka, when he, firing his blades out, was that a thing he could do in MK11? Or was that introducing?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, right. I think you can.
Because I don't.
It's in MK11. Oh wait, maybe it is just MK9. I think you're right, because I think in MK11 he just sparks it.
Unless it was one of his customization moves.
But I could be wrong.
Because I don't remember him doing that. But like, I know he can detach them. Like he does that in one of his moves.
MK11 had the back spikes. Yeah. He can shoot his back spikes out.
Because like, he fires the blade out explicitly in the trailer. So if that was from 1, that would indicate that there is some clear influence from 1 on this version.
Yeah. True.
I guarantee you he's not Tarkat Baraka though. I guarantee you that.
That could also be just a Dunning-Kruger though too, because now that you mention it, or not Dunning-Kruger, Mandela effect, because I bet tons of people even before MK1 thought that Baraka could shoot out his arm blades, because that just seems like something he should be able to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it seems like even if he never did, we're all Mandela.
They've never been metal since like MK2. They for some reason ditched like the metal until MK9 again, which is odd. For anyone watching not aware, that's another big Mandela effect. Like, he's supposed to have metal arm blades, not bone. That's something that was changed later on. And the reason they were metal is because Baraka was originally a mutant. It was all one giant Wolverine. Like, obviously.
Yeah. Which is why,
now he gets both, depending on the gear you have.
That's why Steve Bloom playing him is so fitting. But yeah, like the bones were a thing introduced. The bones were funny because they're introduced in 11, but in the story mode, he still has metal. So like when he stabs that one guy through the side of the skull, before Kozil fights him, it's the metal arm blades. So
nice. But then,
wait.
Go ahead.
Is it in the gameplay too, or is it just like in the cutscenes only?
I assume so, but when in the normal gameplay, his default is the bone blades. The metal is later, like a thing you have to obtain. But in the actual story, they don't use the default because for some reason they're allergic to just having the defaults be used in the story mode.
MK11 does that, huh?
Yeah.
Like Scarlet's not the default and whatnot. Now you're saying the Baraka thing.
Various characters with like not the default gear. It's a strange game, and I don't understand it.
When you said like he's metal in the cutscenes, and I was like, I'm trying to look it up right now if it's like metal in the gameplay too, because I hope it's not another Kenshi situation where it's like, is it the Tsugaru or the Sento or not?
Dang it! I was gonna make that fucking joke. I was waiting for the natural way to bring that up because you were talking about Baraka and the blades, and then Snake. If you look closely in one of the cutscenes, it's actually Sento. Baraka's just using Sento.
When I went to Japan, I went to a restaurant once to order something, and I literally was like, "Oh, I would like to have this." What do you mean? What do you mean? This is the Tsugaru beef. Tsugaru. What the fuck is this on the restaurant? Okay, it's a place. It's a location. It actually exists in Japan. What am I saying? It's like it follows me everywhere.
Which is funny because like, how do you explain if you'd gotten mad like crashed out over it? How do you explain to a Japanese person that this thing in Mortal Kombat that you've got so much attention to because you make a video series about it? How do you explain that to them?
It's just like. Nani this? It's like what? How do? It's like sumimasen. Just never mind. Now okay. So one last thing I'll also mention is he brings this up a lot too. It's like test audience never brought it up because it makes sense in the movies. It's such a non-issue for the test audience. So They never thought it was going to be something that they needed to care about and stuff like that. So
that's something I wanted to say before. Is I think I'd love to know if I assume they have like a form you fill into it to say, here's what I thought of the thing, blah 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 blah. I wonder if any of those include. Do you have history with Mortal Kombat as an IP? Did you watch the previous movie? Have you played the games? Because I think that's super valuable. Because they're saying, like test audiences loved it. The fans hate this stuff, and it's like, well, if you ask the test audiences whether they're fans of the games, that'll give you a better barometer for how much the fans of the games are going to feel about it. Because if test audiences are like, I'm a fan of the games, I watched this is great. That's good, but if all of them are like, no, never played the game. I watched the previous movie, never played the game. I watched the '95 movie, and it's like, are these people? It's not just these people you should be asking. It's people who are familiar with the IP beyond the adaptations.
That is usually this is what I've heard. When test audiences do something, they'll have to write like a piece of paper, like did you like this scene? Did you like that? What age are you and whatnot? I'm pretty sure there's gonna be something like, are you an MK fan? Like a check on it and whatnot. I hope, because I think that's actually pretty important information that should be known.
But if there is, what if they only pick people that don't check that?
I am now looking at the Mortal Kombat 11 Chapter 2 video just to make sure. Yes, Baraka has metal like the metal blades in that story mode in the game cutscenes. So thank goodness this is not a Sento Tsugawa situation. I
wanted to say one thing, and in the defense of Todd Garner and the directors, because I don't want to just sound like I'm against them 100%. So there is precedent where sometimes going way against what is normal and accepted in the fan base has achieved really good results. But I think it's the exception and not the rule. But still, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's Transformers. They appeal so much to normies and barely at all to fans.
Fair.
And then when you have movies that do appeal to fans, like Transformers 1, it flopped.
Or the Bumblebee movie.
Because it turns out that true Transformers fans... Huh?
Or the Bumblebee movie, right? That one actually... Oh, that's just a better movie.
Yeah, but it still had a lot of Michael Bay fans come to see it, I'm sure.
Fair.
Because it's in the exact same style and everything. But I was going to say that, like, the Transformers 1 movie kind of flopped. I think it's a better movie. It genuinely is a better movie.
It's a better fan service movie too. Yeah.
But yes, there's some stuff that's cringe. But overall, great fan service, very good film, better writing, all that. But it didn't do well. And the theory people have is that the actual hardcore Transformers audience is very small. And then if you reduce that to just the animated show fans, which is who this film really appeals to, it's even smaller, right? So that's probably why it flopped. Michael Bay, in choosing to go super mainstream and just super normie with the Transformers films, is a big reason why they likely succeeded, and he shoved tons of action in there. So I can understand the idea of saying, okay, we're going to do a Mortal Kombat that is super normie and not as much like hardcore fan base appeal. That'd be fine. I just feel like, I mean, it's not fine, but it could work. I think you're going against the grain. It's a huge risk, but it could work to go just super normie. The issue is, I don't think they even did that with some of the choices in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. Like making, like you said, like Snake said, making Melina look nothing like Kitana. What was the goal there? Like, you're telling me that wasn't a woke decision, but I can't think of any other reason. Like, I genuinely can't.
I guarantee that was supposed to be Cece would then play Kitana, or someone who looks like her would play Kitana, but then because of the fan backlash, they decided, let's play it safe and have Kitana look like Kitana, which is kind of sad when it's like you have to be browbeaten into, maybe let's just have the thing be more like the thing it's based on, You know what, Sonic? I'm putting it on screen. I'm putting my Twitter pinned tweet in the chat.
I want you to put it in the video. It's just too relevant to the conversation. I've never changed this as my banner because I believe it so thoroughly, but also because it's an original meme by me. And also because it's got a lot of likes. But
you've had this for a very long time, actually. I always see this whenever I click on your Twitter. Yep, I feel like this applies to a lot of things, definitely. That's the Jade part of things. And in my opinion, I think the Jade aspect of his answer is going to be better than what's about to happen next. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope your butt cheeks are clenched, because I'm going to go into why Carl Urban older Johnny Cage. Now, he does start off by saying this is a huge thing for our movie because this is the thing that is setting up for the sequel, so of course we are doing this as a really important decision. And also we look through a lot of candidates. He literally name drops Ryan Reynolds. He's like, Ryan Reynolds, too expensive. He's also shooting something different. Glenn Powell, also filming something different. So he actually name drops 2 actors that they've considered. And now he goes in, and then when he talks about Carl Urban, he says like they had a discussion with like Ed Boon and like other people about one very important aspect about Johnny Cage that they had to bring in. Now, before I reveal the answer, would you two like to guess what is the
He has a child.
Such an you both only get 1 shot, by the way. He has a child. That's your guess, Snake.
Yep.
Dog. What is the important thing that they had to bring into this movie? They had to satisfy fans with, and that's why it's in this movie for like this Johnny Cage.
Is it like for why they picked Carl Urban, or just like an aspect of his character?
Partially why they picked. Well, it didn't. There's the aspect that's like partially why they picked Carl Urban. Partially.
And is it something the fans wanted?
Well, they think the fans want this.
Please tell me it's not like an adaptation of like his legacy, like MK Legacy Machinima version, where he's more grizzled and like, you got caged, bitch. Because that's how he sounds in this.
So both of you have listed out your answers. One is to reference legacy. One is so that he can have a family. All right, here we go. We wanted 90s Johnny Cage. And how are we going to do 90s Johnny Cage in 2025? We make him old.
Todd.
Oh, that's what they got from that?
Yeah.
Todd, it literally does not matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, it mattered to them. It mattered a lot to them while making this decision. They had to like think very thoroughly. It's like, oh, this is something that the fans really want. Remember that thing I brought up about how Todd was like, the fans want this, but they also want this. We can't make the decision. We can't make everybody happy. So their focus is to make people who want the 90s version of Johnny Cage. People want the 90s Johnny Cage. We want that 90s Hollywood actor, and that's what we're focusing on. That's why we're getting an older actor. That's why we're getting Carl Urban, because that's a 90s actor. And that's the core thing about Mortal Kombat. I talked to Ed Boon about this.
90s Johnny Cage is 90s Johnny Cage because he's fucking contemporary. That's just when the games were made. Johnny, I mean, look at Johnny in the games now. He's not still from the 90s. He's from now. He has a smartphone. They have him be from now. That's what they do. That's what Johnny Cage should be. Like, I'm not against the idea of an older Johnny Cage who's older than the rest of the cast. He's out of his prime and whatnot. That's not a bad idea. Like I've not had a problem with Carl Urban. If this is the rationale, that is fucking stupid. That makes no sense. What the fuck? The only way this makes sense to me is if that's not the reason. There's a different reason. He's not allowed to talk about it. So he made something up and he came up with something fucking
that would be
stupid.
amazing. Because I think this is an insanely, like, wow reasoning. It's like, we want to appeal to the 90s Johnny Cage fan. There's so many of them, I guess, apparently. You know, we can't appease everybody, but we're going to appease the 90s. I can take it a step further. Oh, Johnny Cage is a 90s Hollywood actor. That's a very important aspect. What about Liu Kang being, like, Bruce Lee reference? What about Sonya being, like, a Sarah Connor reference? Aren't they supposed to be huge influences of the 90s and 80s because of that, too? Step further, MK2, Jax. Like, all these other characters. Why aren't they old? Why is it only Johnny then?
Yeah,
you know?
it's like yeah, you know, it's important. It's an important part of Johnny Cage. Well, here's another character with like an important aspect to them that would be cool to see. Liu Kang being the main fucking character. Where's this need to appeal to fans of Liu Kang who are like, well, he's the main character. He should be the main character. What about them? No, Johnny Cage being from the 90s. That's what's important.
This is why I wanted
it's
to talk
a
about this
shame because
interview.
Sonic is actually explaining like this stuff very well. But the more he explains it, the more I want to make a video. The Mortal Kombat movie team is delusional or hasn't a clue because they even miss a basic context. Like when they're told 90s Johnny Cage is the favorite, their brain doesn't realize they mean as he's portrayed in those games in the 90s. They think, oh, they want him to be old. Like he's from the 90s.
They want to make
no!
90s references.
Like,
How do you
not
fuck
even
that
true.
up?
That's not even true.
That would be like, oh, I want the Spider-Man movie to be in the same style as like the 60s cartoon. And you just make Spider-Man 80. Because, oh, he's from the 60s. What? Anyway.
It's not even true because Johnny Cage was just like the comic relief, and that was it in the 90s. He didn't hit his stride and become the fan favorite character until the NetherRealm era, when they were able to properly characterize him and flesh him out and depict him properly. And they gave him this arc where he went from like just caring about himself to being this noble hero and a great father. That's what people like. So if you're going to do it that way, it has to be a character who's like, I guess, 10 years older than everyone else because he's from the 2010s.
You know what's funny is I actually retroactively started thinking, being like, theoretically speaking, Johnny Cage being a character from the 90s is applicable to like most of the entire franchise. The only ones I can think of is Mortal Kombat 1 and even Scorpion's Revenge probably. But then it's like, but I never thought of that as like the core thing that they had to get right. I had the same reaction as you got when I heard it. I'm like, no way, really? It's like, really? And this is where I'm a little bit unfortunate with Todd Garner, because like I said just then about that whole thing where he's like fans have too many versions that they rather want and stuff like that. This is where I'm starting to feel like he's a little disconnected with fans actually wanting some of these things. It's like, I feel like you heard people around you say this, or there's like yes men around you, and then you start, you know, pulling the whole like, do fans know what they want like thing in the interview. Because who says I want 90s Johnny Cage? Maybe Ed Boon did. Maybe that's where he, because he talks about Ed Boon in the like, he talked about it with Ed Boon and stuff like that. He brings him up and whatnot. So like, who knows?
To be fair, I know some people in the DMs who've seen the movie early already, and they say it's a blast, and they're big Mortal Kombat fans. So maybe it is really that good, or it could be the curse of seeing something early and getting super giddy about seeing it early and being like, oh my god, guys, it's so great, because you're right in that hype of seeing it early, you know, which is real. I had that same feeling for Scorpion's Revenge, where I thought it was like the best movie ever. I still think it's top 3, but also when I saw the Jury trailer at Evo, like, it was 1,000 times better than seeing it just at home on your computer, because you're seeing it first live in front of a crowd. There's just something about it. So we'll have to see if it's actually good, or if that fan just had like, you know, not rose tinted glasses, but like, you know, early movie viewing tinted glasses, and was like, ooh.
No, yeah, I want to make this. I want to say this is a very. I was very blown away by how honest and how many things Todd Garner's like reveals in this like interview. Not about the movie, but about the mentality of making the movie. And I think this interview proves that this movie, because the movie, whether it's going to be good or bad, can be debatable. But now with this interview, I think it's either going to be great or terrible. Like, I think it's going to be now extreme on one end or the other, because. And I feel like this interview is going to age either like the movie comes out and turns out to be great. This interview would have been a I told you so type kind of interview. And if it turns out to be bad, then this interview is just like Todd is a little bit too up his own, the phrase and whatnot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he may not have seen the bigger picture. He may have thought the test audiences were gospel or like scriptures, basically. You know what I mean? Because now it's starting to become that point where it's like, I hope, because he's really confident. Like, he's like, no need to change the script, because like it just flowed so well. We got everything we wanted. The budget worked out all perfectly. There's no, because when he made that first movie, there's so much I wanted to do and I couldn't because of time constraint and COVID. But this one, I got to do everything I wanted. Everything is wrapped up nice, tied it up in a nice bow, and it's just shipped out and ready. I hope it turns out good, and I hope that this interview ages well. But I still think, you know, a lot of interesting insights here.
Mr. Sonic, is that a copy of that video, that interview I see on your C drive, prepped for when you make the video about the movie, so you can recall these weirdly specific things? Oh, here's why Jade's like this. Here's why Johnny Cage is like this. What a fucking imbecile this guy is. I mean, you wouldn't say that, but I would.
I mean, yeah, I definitely, like I said, I'm very interested in these like interviews, so I'm saving them. I'm trying to like find all the nitty-gritty details, and if the movie is good, I'll praise it. If the movie is bad, I'll bring this interview up.
You have been warned, Todd.
It will be brought up basically, and also that one like news article saying that the movie was more hyped than Endgame. Like I can't get over that. That's so funny. That's the test audience we're talking about here, by the way. Just so we're clear. That's the test audience we've got. So but yeah, that's my little TED talk. I hope you guys liked it. I thought it was an interesting topic to bring up. Basically,
That was very fun. I loved that. Yeah.
I actually liked both your reactions when I talked about 90s Johnny being the reason. It's like you both were just like.
If anybody is in desperate need of the super fan references for stuff, it's definitely Mortal Kombat. Not only because they're out of touch clearly with what fans want in many regards, but also because the games have changed so much that it would be confusing. So you probably do need a super fan to be like, okay, what is this actually? Especially with the reboots. There's been 2 reboots. MK1 changes so much. So I would not be surprised if a new writer or director that worked on a new film was like, okay, I'm confused. Is Scorpion Sub-Zero's brother or not? Like, I'm very confused. So you might need an actual, writing team or super fans as a reference to help with the writing. You might actually, and I recommend it to everyone who might make a future Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, you don't need to be beholden to them, but it's good to have them on hand to help answer certain questions, especially when it's like. I've always gotten the vibe that if you were to have Ed Boon as a consultant, it wouldn't be the best of ideas. I feel like even he wouldn't necessarily know what's going on, and he's like the director of the games. It's just the kind of the vibe I've got, and it's not me like trying to like shit on Ed Boon or anything. It's just, I've always gotten that kind of vibe. So I feel like you might want to have some fans on board who, because I feel like when you create something, a lot of the time you'll make it, and then you move on. Like if any of you have rewatched any of my videos. I have not. I make them, put them out, and move on. And very rarely do I go back to my older videos. I imagine it's like that a lot with stories as well. It's like, well, here's the story, it's done. I can now focus on the next one. But fans will just keep going back to the same one over and over again. And so we get to a point where the fans will know the story better than the creator. There are some things that the creator will understand better, like certain things that are more open to interpretation and what have you. But yeah, you want to have some fans on board who can go. Yeah, well, like this is what this is, especially as Dog said, like with the current state of things. Like, I would not be surprised if the next movie reboot is like, well, it's basically the tournament, but with the newer renditions of the characters. Assuming, of course, it doesn't reboot again before then and make things infinitely worse. In this time,
at this point, I just want the same people.
In this timeline, Scorpion is Hanzo, but he's still Sub-Zero's brother. Because fans really liked it when Sub-Zero and Scorpion were brothers. Trust. They really liked that.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, I'm not joking. I kind of just want the same people that made the Raid movies to make a Mortal Kombat movie, and maybe it's just Sonya, Jax, and other Special Forces members just running through Outworld, just beating people's asses, and it's just one big long kung fu movie with like the bare minimum amount of plot, and they're just running through kicking ass the whole time.
Did you know that someone from the Raid is in these movies?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah.
You see,
who is it?
They even hired the Raid team for Star Wars also. Like they were in The Last Jedi apparently, but they did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh.
They show up to capture Han Solo, right? That was like the Raid team and the choreography team, and they do nothing. They get eaten by a giant monster. It's really stupid.
The newer ones, or wait, what?
Force Awakens.
Oh, sorry, Force Awakens. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's multiple factions that come to capture.
Oh, I remember. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that one where like there's like a bounty hunter team and stuff like that. Yeah, and then the big monster shows up.
I mean, it also seems
and
kind
it's
of
so
odd
cringe
to me.
because you had that amazing talent and didn't use them. Go ahead, Snake.
I also think it's a bit of an odd fit because like, isn't the Raid like predominantly hand-to-hand fighting with some melee weapons? Like, what are they going to do in Star Wars? You know, it'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do Mortal Kombat, and the stunt team's gonna be the guys from John Wick, the gun people. That's what Mortal Kombat needs. We're gonna have yeah, Sonya maybe, but then it's like Liu Kang's doing all the John Wick moves, and you're like, what is happening? You need to find the right people for the right job.
I guarantee you they know weapon training too, though.
That really feels like not because they'd be right for the job, but because we can use that in the marketing. Just like when we're like, oh, look at all these practical effects we're doing. Most people don't give a shit. I'm sorry, most people do not give a fuck whether your effects are digital or practical. They just want the effects to look good. That's to appeal to a very specific niche of people. It doesn't fucking matter. Stop it.
Yeah, two things I want to bring up. One, Mortal Kombat 2, the movie, could be just awesome if the story is very limited and just fights, like you're saying, the raid. If that's Mortal Kombat 2, the movie, it's just... Because, remember, there's like, what, 5 or 6 tournament fights supposedly going to be happening? Because of little lights they're showing and stuff like that. If that's all the movie is, count me in. Like, that sounds fun. If we don't have stupid plot, maybe the movie will be fun.
I mean, if that is all, it's just 5 fights and it's like, you know, like best 3 out of 5, which would be an interesting way to do the tournament, I suppose. Sure, but like, if we end up being one where it's like, well, the winner still has to do more fights, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna get another Battle of the Realms montage, aren't we? Where it's just like, oh,
I hope that's not the case.
Jack's for like 2 seconds, and then he gets like kicked over by Noob Saibot or something, and then it's like, that's the end of that fight.
Oh yeah,
to the next
Battle
one.
of Realms.
Like, no.
That's right. Just have it so you fight once. You don't need to. Just have it like, if Earthrealm wins with the amount of numbers, then they have to fight Shao Kahn. Just to be that, you know. But even then, you know, a bunch of characters fighting Shao Kahn. That's apparently was a thing
honestly,
too.
That's probably the best structure to do for a movie, because you do have such a limited time. It probably is best to give every character the one fight, and not like, instead of being like, well, no, Scorpion has to fight Reptile in order to have his fight with Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero has to fight Johnny Cage to have his fight with Scorpion. Just let Scorpion Sub-Zero fight. You know, like that kind of...
It seems like that might be the angle they're going with.
You do then have the issue of you don't get as many interesting fights, like matchups. I mean, we generally don't anyway. Like, Sonya's always going to fight Kano. We're lucky if they fight anyone else, honestly. Like, Sonya will fight Melina, I guess, but like that's it. And then you'll have like... Liu Kang's going to fight Shang Tsung usually, Scorpion's going to fight Sub-Zero, but like, you don't often have like Scorpion versus Reptile, which would be an interesting fight, but we don't get that.
Well, I will say though, at least in the trailer we have some interesting matchups. Liu Kang against Kung Lao, Sindel against Sonya, and it's Noob Saibot against what, Kano and Johnny Cage? Like, they're kind of working together. I think that's some interesting matchups right there already.
Yeah, but you do have a limited amount of those. A lot of it's going to go to, you know, the old favourites. It's like when you look going through the NetherRealm stories and it's like, oh yeah, Sonya versus Kano 3 games in a row, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero 5 games in a row.
Well, they kind of have to do that one though, right?
You literally don't. You actually don't. That's the neat part. You don't.
No. General audience, you know, Michael Bay audience. Sorry. Well, actually, it's Noob Saibot this time, so you know. No
that's different. Like, we've not had that in a film yet. So
there you go.
But like, you don't have to have, like, if Sub-Zero shows up in this film, you know, at Kuai Liang, he doesn't have to fight Scorpion. You don't have.
That's gonna be an
that.
end teaser. He's not gonna fight. He's gonna be an end teaser.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be it. It should be really funny if this ended up being like, if the film didn't make enough money and they cancelled the series after this, because the Malibu comics also end setting up Kuai Liang, and then that series that series ended.
Life imitates art. It repeats.
They actually have a lot of faith in this movie, because they're like, we're planning a 3rd film. We're planning spin-offs, like, right now. Like, Todd Garner, I think... It wasn't just Todd Garner. I think on Twitter they said that already. It's like,
did they say,
they're making this into an expansive universe now. Like, they've stated that. So they have hope for this series.
Did they say anything about, like, who would be getting spin-offs, or are they just saying we're going to be doing spin-offs?
They're just saying they're making more. That's it. Yeah.
We'll probably get, like, a Johnny Cage prequel or something, or maybe like a special that's like... Yes. Or maybe like a special that's like, hey, here's Johnny Cage, one of Johnny Cage's movies, and it's like, well, here's the special of that. Or, I mean,
that would be fun.
I mean, a Liu Kang Kung Lao team up thing could be quite fun if if Kung Lao ends up making it in the end. Well, one of the issues is it kind of has to be sequels, a lot of it, because prequels, like Sonya and Jax, and it's just Sonya and Jax doesn't have his metal arms, would be fucking boring. Whereas, like, just like, imagine MK Special Forces, but it's Sonya, Jax, and Kano having to team up, and Kano's like just like the comic relief the whole time, and they're fighting the Red Dragon. So it's like, here's Mavadi, played by Ray William Johnson.
Yes.
Here's Suhao with his jaundiced skin, and then there's a reference to Dagon. They don't do anything with it. It's just the shallow fan service, like the Hall of References from the last movie.
Black Dragon spin-off TV show? Bruh. They're gonna make it as good as Penguin. Oh my gosh, dude. Imagine Black Dragon and then, like, the quality of Penguin.
To be fair, the Penguin is only good if you turn off the fan part of your brain. I did like that show, though. It was good. I did enjoy it.
It just doesn't feel like a Batman like series at all. It just feels like, wait, this is the Batman universe. You know, it's like you kind of forget that.
Yeah, and it also is not accurate at all to the comics in any way. But that's
Well,
okay.
that's its own thing.
Still fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It almost feels
The
like
thing
that.
I want.
Sorry, it's not even worth talking about on that topic. Let's see.
I was gonna bring up like who in the raid is in Mortal Kombat.
Do you not know?
I never saw the
Baraka.
raid, so I don't know.
No, it's Sub-Zero, isn't it?
Joe Taslim.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
very likely.
I mean, Joe Taslim is a really good
Oh
martial.
yeah,
Like,
I wanted to bring up Sub-Zero because
what's-
people have said like, I know that Noob Saibot is the original Sub-Zero, but they're like, are we seriously not going to have Sub-Zero show up in this movie? Because that would be the first time in any Mortal Kombat movie apparently where Sub-Zero has not shown up,
Live action, yeah.
which is interesting to think about. Yeah.
yeah, it says here he's Sergeant.
Well, even in the
Jekka.
animated, is there a movie? Oh, Johnny Cage's Cage Match, I guess.
Yeah.
But outside of that, is there an example of Sub-Zero
No.
not being in the movies? But we can't really even
Cage
count
Match.
Cage Match. That's a Johnny Cage exclusive movie, pretty much. That's a fanfic.
Well,
Done well, by the way. That's an example of like doing whatever the hell you
Yeah.
want. And because you lean super hard into it, it's appealing. It's almost like the Uncanny Valley. You know, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Wait, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Okay, now we've gotten into the good territory again. You know, that's how
A
I feel
fun
with like
action
normie
movie,
appeal. Yeah.
what's it called? Snowblind could have been no Sub-Zero, but like that's old man Sub-Zero, so it's a very different character theoretically speaking. And then Scorpion Mandate had to be in there.
You know what they need to do? They need to, if they're going to do this whole Johnny Cage 90s superstar thing, here's what they need to do. Get the Legends team to make an animated special, like 20-30 minutes, and it's an episode of a Johnny Cage cartoon where Johnny Cage plays himself or someone else voices Johnny Cage, like Jackie Chan Adventures, the Mr. T cartoon, the Chuck Norris, the Karate Commandos. Do that and get like McFarlane Toys or Hasbro to do a toy line for it. Go all in on this idea.
I think the most all in they've done is the Cage Fury 1 minute trailer.
Yeah.
Remember? I feel like that's the most like he's from the 90s. He was a super like 90s like fun like trailer to prove that he's from the 90s and stuff like that. I think that's the most they will give us really, or more posters at least. I would like that.
I
They need
didn't
to sell
get
those
that
fucking
either. I didn't get
posters.
that DVD. Some Mortal Kombat creators do, but I guess because I made fun of Jade being bald, I don't get special DVD collectible.
Sorry,
I-
you have to stand bald Jade like me, guys.
I
Like, if
think-
you, like I'm not.
I think everyone should link my video where I preserve the 3D era DVDs to these content creators and say, do that. Preserve these DVDs. Rip all the content, put them in a Google Drive. History Behind
Yeah.
the Warrior. Get on that. Get on it,
They
buddy.
got the early access, which is cool. I mean, I think History Behind the
Uncaged
Warrior
Fury.
is one of my
Sorry,
favorites.
sorry. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
He
He deserves it.
Did Uncaged Games get one?
Oh yeah.
I think
Because
so.
it'd be
yeah.
really
Uncaged
weird if
Games is
Unca-
also the only person I've seen who got flown out to Germany for the Gamescom. Him and Caboose, but I think Caboose got flown out for different reasons.
It would be so
yeah.
strange if Uncaged Games didn't get Uncaged Fury. I mean, that's just...
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be so weird.
If he did what?
Speaking of Uncaged Games, I will look. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to his Ludi Lin interview,
Oh,
where
nice.
he interviews the Liu Kang actor. He did that before, so I see how that one goes. I haven't watched it yet. It seems fun.
And apparently, also Ketchup and Mustard apparently, or more specifically Ketchup, because I think PND K&M is actually Ketchup's channel, but Mustard sometimes makes content. I think it's mostly Ketchup. He has an interview for the Mortal Kombat Legacy also, or they interviewed him actually, so he might appear in some behind-the-scenes footage for the Legacy Collection, because he was interviewed. He
that's
said,
cute.
which is why he has not been making any videos covering the Legacy Collection, because he has insider knowledge and he thinks that it's unfair. Which I say that's admirable, but also, man, get your bag. Get your bag. We'd
Yeah,
love to see
I-
your early insight videos. We don't care.
Well, I mean,
We
it
wanna
could
see
be
that.
contractual reasonings, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
I
he
do
made it
thi-
sound like it was a personal preference. Like he said, it didn't seem fair that he would cover stuff that no one else
Oh,
knows about.
okay.
I'm like, no, go for
If
it, dude.
that's what he feels.
You've earned your insider access. Jump full in. Like,
I do
it.
feel that if anyone was like the perfect choice to like, give that kind of access, it would be the guys who do like, here's the competitive history of the characters, here's all this stuff. Like, I feel like if anybody
Yeah.
would be knowledgeable about like the differences in these versions, it'd be them. That's the thing is like, that is content that'd be really good, is explaining the differences between the versions. It's like, okay, here's all the versions of UMK3 you get in it. Here's what's different about each one. So people can go in and go, okay, well, here's why. Because that's also really good marketing. It's like, well, why should I care if there are 5 versions of this one game? I'm just going to play the arcade version. Here's why you should care. Here's what's special about this version. Here's what weird tech this one had, or like the weird oddities. Like this one has the Fergality in it. That's not in other versions. That would be really good content. So Ketchup and Mustard, who are never going to watch this podcast, do that.
It's honestly, I think their channel is the perfect marketing for the game, because they literally talk about all the obscure older game tech and stuff, and they love the older games and whatnot. So I think it's they're perfect, which is funny you mentioned that, Dog, that one of them is
don't say never, Snake. We can probably get him on the podcast, honestly, if we just reach out to him.
I would love that, honestly.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
That would be insane, a five-person podcast if we get both on at once.
Well, I mean, we were all on the Realmcast once, if I'm not mistaken, so that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We get them on here as well.
I keep forgetting we don't, but because I feel like I featured them, but then it's that's right, not in the Kombat Kings yet. But yeah, totally. But that's all the MK news, which as we do, we got to an hour and 40 minutes because I think it's some interesting things. I think that was pretty fun. But now I think we can get to some short. Well, I'll start with something kind of shorter that I'd like to bring up here because Dog kind of brought it up just then. During my vacation, I had some free time, and once in a while I will watch some videos. And I also brought the Switch and I played some games, but I'll talk about that later. And so I watched Babe Ruthless's the history of all guest fighters video, 2 hours and 30-minute video. It was excellent. Had a lot of fun watching that during my trip. She doesn't just list it off like a Wikipedia article. She talks about all of them. Gives an opinion about it, shows footage of them. It's very amazingly well done and detailed. I watched the Internet Historian video about the what's it called? Evergiven?
The boat. It was the boat that jammed up that canal for
yes.
like a week or so, and no tree could get through because it's basically a case of he's not done a video in a long time. The Costa Concordia video was really good.
Yes,
it's basically the sequel to that because it's a similar kind of situation.
It kind of is.
Style. And even jokes about that, how it's about it basically being that again in a way. So
the ship is called Ever Given, so his video is called Ever Given, Ever Taken Away.
Yeah, and, the Costa Concordia video is called The Cost of Concordia. So
yes.
Nice to do these funny little names.
What's really funny, by the way, is I watched that video while you guys were recording with Shred. I was watching that oh, they're live. Oh, good luck with them. while I was watching that.
I wonder if we could get Internet Historian on the podcast.
Damn. Oh, that's too hard. He's too big.
What
he's too
are podcasts?
Other than that, I watched some other things. So, I'm not gonna really talk into this, but I watched Eyes of Wakanda, which I'm pretty sure the reaction I'm gonna get is that came out and also what?
Yeah.
It's fine. It was I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but I think I enjoyed what I saw. It's really a 6 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10 show that I see. It's nobody. I'm not gonna recommend it, but if you watch it, you're gonna think it's okay. But the other thing that I did watch, however, that I did want to talk about is Predator: Killer of Killers, because I watched that, and Dog apparently watched that one too.
Yeah.
I have to bring this up. A couple months ago, Snake and Dog on this podcast, y'all were chatting about Predators, and you guys were like, dude, wouldn't it be so cool if the Predator took place in the past and they had a samurai episode or something, a samurai anthology episode or something like that? Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if the Predator won? Wouldn't it be cool if the Predator was the main character for once? Boom, boom, this year.
Kind of.
Just what you just manifested these two things out of nowhere.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because there was that separate movie coming out also. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out at the end of the year where the Predator is the main character and stuff like that. That's a nice impression there, Snake. But yeah, I saw that Killer of Killers, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about this movie. And when my brother came out and watched it, he had the same opinion as you, Dog, and I kind of had the same opinion, which is
did I say my opinion yet?
Great animation, great fight scenes, story, Right, I think is that your opinion about the movie?
Close. It's not just the story, it's a clear misunderstanding of what the Predator is. They just got it wrong. They treat the Predator like someone who just makes his presence known and does an honorable fight with everybody. That's not true. That only happens if you really prove yourself when he's trying to hunt you from a distance like a little punk bitch, because he's supposed to be like a normal hunter, but sci-fi. So think about how a human hunts. They don't bust into a room full of deer and go, "You're mine now, bitches," and try to like hand-to-hand them or sword fight them. That's not how it works. That's why in the first 2 Predator films, like 99% of his kills he does while invisible, like from a distance, because he's hunting. That's how it's supposed to be. It's like hunting. Yeah. But this movie treats it more like when he 1v1s Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that's a very particular case because Arnold proved himself to be like a very special case, and he's like, "All right, I want to 1v1 this bitch." Yeah.
For those not familiar, people just go, "Oh, he's got," because the Predator has like a code. There is like a code of ethics. They'll kill anyone with stealth, but if you're not armed, you don't pose any kind of threat, you are off the table. It's this really tense scene in Predator 2 where you think the Predator's going to shoot a child, but then it doesn't because it realizes, oh, this water gun is not a real weapon. And so people kind of conflate that with being honourable, and that can lead to some really good scenes. Like there was like a sword duel that one Predator had in Predators with the Yakuza guy. That was a pretty good bit. But the way to actually look at the Predator is, remember that guy? There's this dentist like 5-10 years ago who people online went mad about because he like shot a lion on a safari. Like obviously it's not a fair fight. He comes in with a rifle. That's what the Predator is. He goes and like hunts down a species that can't fight back and goes, "Here's my super advanced weapon. Get fucked, idiot." And then he's like, "Yeah, look at me. I'm so good. Look at my trophy." That's what the Predator is, and that's one of the reasons why it's so satisfying when the Predator gets fucking a log dropped on his head and he's like, shit, oh fucking, and he's like, beating him down with a rock.
Yeah. I've heard also, I mean, I don't think that's too big of an issue in this movie, because, like, sure, he watches them be like, "Oh, you guys can fight? All right, now I'm joining in." There is a lot of that throughout that movie. I don't think it's that big of an issue, but also I've heard people say it's like, because based off the comics, I don't know, I'm not like a super Predator fan, so you guys have to be correct about this. Like, apparently there are tribes, and sometimes some tribes have different like rules compared to others.
There are, which was one more weird disconnect in the movie, because in the first scene, it feels like it's one of the there's different names for the classes of Predator. This one class that's bigger and burlier, but they're typically not very smart. So they're seen as like a lower class version of Predator. They're even in the Predator Concrete Jungle game. You fight one of them. He appears in the first scene of the Predator movie, but then later on, when, like, not to spoil too much, but they show like one of the big leader Predators, and he looks the same. He's a big, burly, way too tall, and it's like
not as burly as the first one though. He's a little bit less.
He's not, but he's still like.
One.
And one thing the film does do well is every Predator has a different body type, which is really cool. Like, it shows that they have diversity in their body, same way humans do. Like, people consider me tall because I'm like 6'2", but then you see a freaking NBA player and you're like, "What the fuck is that thing?" And then you see like, Shaquille O'Neal, who makes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson look tiny. And you're like, are we all the same thing? And yes, we are. But like, so same with Predators, right? You have these really big motherfuckers like Shaq, the Shaq of Predators. Then you have like a more lean kind of NBA player Predator that fights like the samurai. So
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Like a Kevin Peter Hall type.
Sure, yeah.
Because they had NBA players playing Predators in the early films, and Kevin Peter Hall was the one who did. I don't know if he's NBA or if he's just like, he's like a really tall
very
dude.
tall.
He was the one in Predators 1 and 2. So I'm making a
he
very
had to wear
clever
gear
reference.
the whole time too, which is why he walks kind of weird in the movie. He has like a wire apparently holding him up because his gear is so damn heavy. Yeah.
So what were
cool.
you getting on, dog?
Because
you had an issue with the sizes and stuff.
Oh, did my camera just die all of a sudden? It's red. My camera's red for some
Oh.
reason. No, it's still working.
We can see you on Discord.
Oh, what have you done?
Oh,
Well, on your
Oh, it's
OBS
like lost
it says
energy.
you're recording.
it's out of
so you
power.
should
It's like,
be all right.
I'm tired. I can't stay up no more. Oh,
no!
I'm tired.
Crotch
Maybe I
shot.
can put this headphone under it. Oh, it's back. Turned on. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. What the?
So yeah, no, I was just saying that like it's not really a huge issue. I just thought like because there are different classes and the film shows like the different species or subspecies of Predator, it was kind of odd how one of the bosses they show, like a general or something, is the lower class. That wouldn't really happen, I don't think, unless they're implying it's like gladiator rules where the head gladiator is still like a slave technically. Maybe they're going for that kind of vibe, but I don't think so because of what happens in the end. It's not a big deal. I just noticed that was kind of funny. I was like, it's cool that he's this big bad motherfucker, but I'm like, that's not actually how they do it. But it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah,
now,
it's
what would have
definitely
been really
like
cool. There's some fun little member berries that show up in the movie that I'm not going to spoil. But could you imagine how badass it would have been if Scarface showed up from Concrete Jungle?
Yeah.
That would have been the sickest fucking thing. I would have lost my mind.
Scarface is just the best one. That game has some problems, but like some of the stuff early on is a little tough to get into. But if you stick with it, holy shit, does it deliver in the end? It's like that final fight is so great, so perfectly set up. Oh, do you know that NECA made a figure of Scarface?
They did? Oh shit!
Yes.
I gotta see that.
I need to get that myself. Actually, it's
so without like spoiling the movie, I will say it ends in a way where I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with the Predator franchise, to the point where like maybe Scarface will show up. I'm not even joking. Like there is that like feeling that they could do that. But I don't want to spoil what happens because it's. But the thing is, the ends in a way where I'm like, okay, where is this going now? Because this kind of has the movie is like an anthology, right? You get like 3 different fights, 3 different like time periods, and 3 different fights, and it has a thing at the end that kind of like wraps this story up, and that thing that wraps the story up, in my opinion, like gets me kind of interested in like where this franchise could go, because currently. All these Predator movies, this one, the next one, and even Prey, directed by the same person. So it almost feels like he has like an idea of like maybe some like future stories that can like connect in this universe and stuff like that. Which I actually think this is better than what we've gotten in the last couple like actual good Predator movies. You know what I mean? You know, compared to the last couple years.
Yeah,
so I'm at least like happy we're getting that.
Yes, exactly. All it's really missing, is it a spoiler if I say like, I don't know. Because one of those things I was asking for doesn't happen in the movie. I'm like, really? You have all these separate battles, and we still don't have one instance of what I was requesting?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But the thing is, it's about the ending that you can't really go there. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. But I'm not. You can DM me. I'm curious about what you're talking about.
What's next? Is the Predator going to lose to a grandma? Oh, wait. That kind of almost happened. They keep lowering the bar.
The Predator's going to win the next one.
I know what you're saying.
Because the Predator's the protagonist in the next one. That's
what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the Mortal Kombat story mode. If they're not the main character, they can't win any fights. You know.
Yes. because the Predator at its core is a slasher villain. It's like Freddy Krueger can't win, Jason can't win unless they fight each other. If they're against the dudes have to win.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guys. You know, the Scream villain murderer is not going to win. You could do the
Survivor thing where they just escape, or the Predator thinks they're dead and leaves them. Like that would still be satisfying.
I don't want to hear spoilers, but isn't that what happens in 2?
No, in 2 he totally wins. It's just that he's on the Predator ship, and the hierarchy Predators are there too, and they let him live because he survived. Like he won the challenge, pretty much. So they're not going to just.
Sorry, I don't know much about 2.
Like Snake had it on the money. Like it's kind of like a bunch of rich people hunting for fun and being very unfair. Now, to be clear though, the Predators do limit themselves a bit when they go on hunts because. Come on, they have ships that can travel light speed and go all these distances. There's no way they don't have way better technology they could use on the hunts, but they purposely limit themselves the same way that you and I, if we went hunting, or even that dentist that Snake mentioned, he had a regular rifle, right? He wasn't going in there with a chain gun, because that wouldn't be fair. But that is the thing that humans have. Like, we have Gatling guns and stuff, but we don't use those to hunt. Hey, go ahead.
So I feel like there's kind of like 2 mindsets about the Predator, like how to interpret. And I think if you think about the wrist explosive, that it perfectly encapsulates it. Because the way it's kind of presented in Concrete Jungle is that when the Predator blows himself up, when he's lost, he's going to die. He blows up his ship and detonates it like a nuke. That's more like keep the technology out of the primitives' hands. This is our technology. We're keeping it. Whereas you look at the original 2 movies, it feels more like fuck you. I'm taking you with me. It's like a petty bitch, basically. Like that's the thing. Like the Predator is so cool, but he's not really. I feel like he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be like a petty little shit who we're supposed to be really satisfied when he gets rocked by the for
the most part, yes.
By the gazelles that he's trying to hunt with his rifle. The gazelle just gets in and goes, ugh! And he goes, not haha, I am cool, man. I will defeat you. That's where like, the AVP movies like what went wrong. It's like the Predator shouldn't be teaming up with the good guys. With the humans, like the Predator, it should be a 3-way fight, which I guess the second film did, but the second film's dog shit, so we can ignore that.
Well, I thought they're both dog shit, so this I don't know.
There was no AVP.
Yeah, another problem with
What are you
AVP
talking
films is they do this weird thing where the first two predators die instantly, then the third
Yeah.
predator is like unkillable, so it feels really weird. It should be like all of
Yeah.
them doing really well, and have to get
Not
very
even.
unlucky to actually die.
about? Not even
Yeah.
to a special alien like a pred alien. No, it's just a basic drone, a basic bitch
Yeah.
drone that kills two predators. When the whole idea is the alien strength is in numbers. Like
Yeah.
getting the drop on one predator,
True.
fine. But then it shouldn't just like beat the other one in an actual, like the big muscle guy that the kind of thing that Dog was describing. He's swinging the alien around, slamming its head through pillars, and eventually the alien just gets the better of him. Why?
Yeah,
like this
because
this
for
about
some,
this-
that was so annoying to watch as a kid. I was so pissed that entire movie. It was so dumb because they even use nets that help the aliens escape, which makes no sense. Predators would not use a weapon that gives an edge to acid blood creatures, and those nets literally guarantee that every alien will get out because it tightens their skin first, which cuts
Yeah.
them, and they get free guaranteed. They would never use that.
Yeah, it's so strange because like I read the novelization, or at least part of it, and it goes into explaining some details, which I assume were just things from like the production side. Is that like the wrist blades and whatnot? Those are, I mean, obviously they're longer, so they can kill the aliens at greater range than the normal short ones. But also they're made from alien hide, so they're resistant to the acid blood. You know, so that's the idea. Is they are prepared for this stuff. They have been fighting these things for centuries.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, yeah, I'm just going to use a net on an acid blood creature. You fucking dent.
And then for some reason, when it gets out and tackles them, he just is limp, like, "Oh no, you got me." He doesn't even try to like defend himself. It's really dumb. The predators are treated like really slow moving idiots. But apparently, I've looked into this a little bit when I was a kid, like 13 or something. And the reason why it happens that way is because the people making the movie didn't look at like anything except
You guys keep talking,
which
I'm gonna
film
get
had
water.
more like awards and praise like from the higher ups. So like the Alien films are renowned for like their set design and their awards, and they got like all this.
Yeah.
They have all this like what do you call it? They have praise from like Hollywood
Accolades,
itself. They have accolades and stuff. So they thought that therefore aliens are more popular. So they gave aliens the way better showing, and just kept the one predator around because you kind of have to. But that's apparently why it's like that, because the alien got more praise from like Hollywood and has more awards and accolades. They didn't think like, oh wait, from a sheer numbers perspective, we should probably keep the predators alive for a while. But also, their whole gimmick is being like smarter, better, all that. Now, yeah, I don't want to relive. I'm getting like annoying, cringe feelings that I got from when I first saw that movie. You're bringing it back out of me.
Put it this way: when you play AVP games and you go through the campaigns, aliens are normal enemies. Humans are normal enemies. Predators are boss fights.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're not mowing down like hordes of predators. You're mowing down hordes of aliens, and then a predator shows up at the end of the level, and you have to take that on the one. Like, that's how this works.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's basic common sense. That's why even though the second film is bad, I still like it more than the first one, because it's just one predator, he goes in, he fucks shit up, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, I kind of like that more. Now, it's too dark to see anything half the time, so that's stupid.
I don't know
But the idea
why,
of one predator going in and saying, fuck this, I'm going to kill everything myself, is pretty cool.
I feel like it's rare that there's like such an ultra-specific criticism that everybody who talks about the film brings up. Everybody mentions how fucking dark that movie is. You can't see a thing. Jen, look up some footage of one of the fights. Like, there's some during the day which are fine, but like the final fight between the predator and the pred alien is in the rain at night, and you can't see a fucking thing. It's so bad. What were they thinking?
There's also that one tiny disconnect where this predator is clearly sent down to contain it, because normally the aliens are kept in that pyramid. It's a very contained hunt.
Yeah.
They can't escape. Whereas the second movie, the aliens are out and about in a public setting of Earth. If they don't contain this shit, all of Earth is doomed and they can't hunt there anymore. So they're very much trying to like stop an invasive species. That's the plot of AVP2. Kind of badass, though it begs the question why they wouldn't just nuke it, because they could. And also, it has that same, I guess because they want to appeal to the fans and make it more fun. And also, the predator hunting the aliens in that film should have way, way, way more technology for mass killing. But at the end, when he's fighting like the pred alien and some other aliens, he has like a fucking whip with blades on it, which looks cool for a trailer, but you're like, why on earth would you ever reach for that? You should have like 30,000 handguns on you or something, because you never want to get close to these fuckers. Like, it could be game over instantly if they touch you. Yeah. So... It was cool though seeing the Predalien, and even now I think it's neat how they made the Predalien so strong, because think about how strong xenomorphs are compared to humans, despite coming from our DNA, like our chest and stuff, and we're birthing them. So if you upscale that, then yeah, the Predalien would be a fucking linebacker.
Plus
Which he does
also,
straight up tackle the other predator like through a wall. It's nuts.
It's also supposed to be like half Praetorian because it's like one of the queen eggs as well.
Oh,
so,
gotcha, true.
Which is why I can like lay the eggs down the people's throats and that. So it's like ultra special. It's like these two specific things that alone would make it a tough motherfucker. Put them together, holy shit, this thing is a monster. So there's cool concepts, but basically everything in the execution is fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. That's why I love that one animation in Newgrounds back in the day. That it was a fantastic parody of the first and second movie. For the second one, it's like, and here's a summary of the second AVP. And it's just black screen and like noise sound effects and stuff the whole time. And it's like, oh man, this is epic as shit. Yeah, okay. That was our little rant about AVP 2 while Sonic was gone.
I mean, I'm glad you guys are. You two are the pro Predator fans. Like I got nothing on that shit. I just watched some of these movies and I'm like, oh, that's cute, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I thought those two were like not really. I thought those aren't really like good movies from what I've heard. So like, it seems like there's more to it based off of what you guys are saying.
In a bad way.
The AVP comics are really good. I want to read them a bit more because that's what inspired the movie, but they didn't do anything from the comics. Like Dark Horse has this long run of AVP and it's actually interesting. And there's also that AVP video game, which I think might be based on the Dark Horse comics, but maybe not because the plot seems very similar. You can play as like a human woman with Predator gear.
That was supposed to be an AVP movie being made in the 90s. But the movie got cancelled. But the game was already in development, so I don't know if Arnie would have reprised the role of Dutch, like he's one of the characters in the game. I don't know if it would have been Arnie coming back, but that's what they did. And in fact,
that's cool.
Predator 2 is based on the comics, but the character Harrigan was made up for the movie. The character in the comics is Dutch's brother.
Huh.
And then in the Judge Dredd and Predator crossover, one of the main characters is Side Judge Schaefer, a direct descendant of Arnie from Predator 1. He fucks and has a bloodline that leads to a side judge. How fucking cool is that?
It's funny how this is pretty much
lore.
This sounds like the Star Wars situation where the comics are so fucking good and full of so many good ideas, and the films just won't use them. It's like, why aren't you doing this? These are so fun. Like, even just adapt Concrete Jungle. It's a great plot.
Here's another one. So, you know the gun from the end of Predator 2?
Yeah.
It's like an old-timey flintlock pistol that shows up. Basically, it's been in the Predator's possession for centuries. Now, there was a comic that explains it, and it's like Predator versus Pirates. And it's so cool. But then, Prey gives a different explanation. Because if you watch the end credits, it's suggested that predators come back and basically wipe out this the main character's whole colony, and that's where the gun comes from, and it's like that's so much worse. That's nowhere near as cool as Predators versus fucking pirates.
Yeah, it's lamer, and also it kind of flies in the face. I wonder who decided that, because the writer of Prey clearly wanted to do that whole girl boss, women can do anything vibe, and also they're trying to imply that woman, that Native American woman, pioneered the idea for her tribe that women can also be hunters, and from now on things are going to be different. And then it's like, nope, dead, F you. Those are clearly two different visions, like two different writers.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
like
wonder
the 4Gs. Girl boss, gatekeep, gaslight, get fucking destroyed, apparently, off screen between movies.
Gatekeep, get fucking destroyed, idiot, nerd.
This is the weirdest thing to listen to on right now. I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention to what's going on. I just heard girl boss die or some shit. Like, what?
Well, you heard the part before that, like Prey, or I don't know. Yeah.
So the point is, would you recommend Killer of Killers, dog? Or did you like that movie?
Yeah, no, I would. I recommend watching it. Just what you think it is 100% what it is. Don't go in thinking it's gonna blow your mind like some animated films do. Like, wow, I can't believe they did that, or I can't believe they. No, it's very much like it feels. One half is like love to Predator fans. The other half is pure fan fiction that would never happen if you studied the comics. So it's both. And you got to go.
So nobody cares about that other half because Predator franchise is not that popular, unfortunately.
How dare you? It was so popular back in the day that almost every superhero had to fight Predator in their comics. That's how big he was.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel's doing that now. I think Spider-Man's fighting.
Oh yeah,
That's
they
right,
are doing
right?
dark as
Predator's
shit.
fighting
Like, apparently
Spider-Man
Predator
now.
skinned somebody in one of the issues. Yeah.
Which is like, why would you put Predator against Spider-Man when clearly the obvious matchup is Wolverine? And then you have a cover of a Predator's wrist blades with Wolverine reflected in it, like when Wolverine's claws had the Hulk reflected in it in the iconic cover. That's what you do.
It's way better. I guess they just chose Spider-Man
goes.
because it's a weird contrast, because Spider-Man is like more of a PG superhero. Not always, but typically more of a PG superhero. And now, like, in issue 2 or something, you have a character who was, like, skinned off screen. And I think Spider-Man finds just his skin, like, in the apartment. You're like, holy fuck, that's dark as shit. Now, does Predator do that? Yes, but you would never expect to see that in the Spider-Man comic. And also,
Wait,
it's a dumb
has it already
matchup
started?
because... Yeah. And also, it's a dumb...
Oh,
It's a
okay.
dumb... It's a dumb matchup because Spider-Man is the character you legit can't sneak up on. So Predator has no edge whatsoever. It's implied that he's going to use bait. Like, I think he kidnaps Mary Jane already in issue 1, so we know what he's doing, but still.
See, now I'm wondering, is that going to be the key? Because the only way you can beat a Predator is by killing it, right? So
Yeah.
unless
is Spidey gonna
unless Spidey beats it up, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna run away now. Or it's like, why can't I hit this guy? I just can't hit him. Nothing I do, I can't shoot him, I can't stab him, I can't throw things. Why would fuck this shit? I'm out. Is that gonna be the key to his defeat?
So Dog gave us a little review. My review is like I liked it. I thought it was very enjoyable for like a movie. It's very simple. It's actually feels like a Mortal Kombat movie just based on how violent like the kills are and just how fun and gory like the fights are and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'd say for Snake I would recommend it, and you will see why I said I think this franchise is going somewhere interesting with the ending. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
However, I have one very big parenthesis that I have to mention. This is like a 7 or close to 8 out of 10 movie for me, and just because the action and the animation is fun and the story is just okay. And like I said, it's 3 short stories. There's the Norse one and the World War II. Is it World War II, right? World War II.
Yes.
I believe.
I think it's World War
okay.
II, yeah.
Yeah. They're both good. I think they're nice. That samurai one though, however, holy shit.
Cool. Yeah,
that
amazing.
blew my mind. I was like, "Wow!" That episode, that alone,
Simmer down.
that alone.
Because I don't want another situation where someone online is hyping up this animated movie, or K-pop Demon Hunter is going to change your fucking life. It's fine.
Nobody says it like that.
I'd watch a sequel, but it's not as amazing as Twitter made it out to be. People on the internet,
but
the only time people were right was Puss in Boots. That's the only time they were like, "Yo, this thing is amazing." Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that is peak.
Everything else is
It
it's fine. You don't need to
Okay, but
overhype it. You just say, "Yo, this is a good movie. I recommend it." Don't go, "It's the best movie ever."
Did I say that? I didn't.
No, not you.
Okay,
Twitter.
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 Okay, but
Twitter.
I'm talking. You're like
Twitter.
simmer down. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to gush about, but it is really good. Like I'm constantly blown away. I recommend this movie just for that 20-minute section. I recommend just to see that action scene. It is so well choreographed, so fun to watch, so crazy action. The Predator in there was really cool, reminding me of Scorpion. I don't want to say much. Remember the beginning of Scorpion's Revenge? Remember that? It's 10 times better than that. I'm not even joking. I'm being.
The animation is pretty damn good for the most part. There's some weird exceptions where I was like, that looks really bad, and I'm surprised that nobody changed that. It's very minor, but it happens in the first scene, so it gave me a bad perception of how the rest of it was going to be. The first chapter is like the Viking part of history, right? Yeah. And if you look at their hair, they have long hair, and the hair is, instead of being like actual physics or separated, it's like one glob of 3D model, and when they turn their head, it's like stuck to their shoulders and moves with them, and it looks really fucking
PS2
bad.
era.
I was like, why does that look
notice
so bad? And it's funny because that never happens again. Like for the rest of the film, there's some characters that have hair physics and stuff. Just that one part, it's like, why did they do that? It's just a style choice, I guess. But it gave me a bad feeling. I was like, oh no, this just looks good from a distance, but if you stare at it, it's actually really bad. But no, it's just that one part. I was like, oh okay. Just that one.
And
aspect.
that's in the Norse one, because I'm talking about the samurai one. I like the Norse one, but I think, like, just that samurai one is just peak. It's too good. I kind of want to just tell you, Snake, to like skip the movie and just watch that part, but I'm not gonna. I still like that movie. The movie is like 7, 8, and that samurai one's like a 10. It's such a good short 20-minute like battle, and it's
My favorite was actually the World War II one, but that's probably just because of our nationalities. Maybe it's just like our culture, but I thought that was really cool because
it's Top Gun Maverick. It's that kind of like dogfighting in the air. It's good. I liked it. Protagonist can be kind of annoying, but other than that, it's
the
good.
Setting. It's like they give this really good feeling of hopelessness in that one, and like the one guy has that line. It's not really a spoiler. He just goes, "Guys, there's no help coming. How do we do this?" And it's like that scene of like, you got to pull your shit together and really like man up here. And there's that one really cool shot where they do. Snake might know the name for this. There's probably a film term for this. I don't know about it. Where all background music and fun sound effects, all that goes away. And it's just the sound from that actual scene for like a solid 30 seconds straight that really immerses you and nobody speaks. And it's really cool. I was like, oh, this scene is so fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't know what the term would be.
I sort of know which part you're talking about. That was a pretty smart way to fight the Predator. I think I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But also with what Sonic said, like, bitch Predator won't even leave his fucking ship.
How's the AC, little bro? Yeah.
That's probably one of the best, like, that's good.
Guys, I'm cool too. Yeah, pick up a spear.
A real Predator would roll the window down and chuck spears from the window.
I think we got about like an hour left in this podcast. I have the small vacation stuff topics I want to bring up, but I also did want to bring up the game I've been playing, because I know the moment I say the game I've been playing, I know it'll be like non-stop talking. So I feel like I should.
Well, can I have like a quick interlude to talk about my cool shit?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My wife, Emma Frost.
That's a very nice
okay.
figure.
I can't see it. My screen's not loading.
No, he's showing it. Like, at least pretend you're cool. You think his wife is cool.
Whoa! Holy shit! Whoa!
Yeah,
no way, dude.
It's one of the Hasbro ones. This is not the stand it comes with. They are doing another one soon, like this year, I think in October, where it's going to be the Hellfire Club, Emma. Like the original White Queen look, which I still say that they should take that design from Marvel Rivals and in spring make a bunny suit version of it, because it'd be so funny. I also have more of her Generation X students. I already had Chamber, my favorite X-Man.
Absolute I thought your favorite X-Men is Emma. Is she an X-Men?
Yeah, it's basically the top two.
Okay.
Good old Chamber. Then I have
Chamber. I don't think I even know this character. That's pretty cool. That's your second.
He's never shown up in any adaptations, but there's a good chance I think he could show up in X-Men 97 just because it's from the 90s. And when they
1994.
Yeah, when they did X-Men 92, which was a comic that was basically the same as 97, but yeah, just as a comic.
I'm going to leave and come back real quick, fellas, so I can see these. I can't see any of them.
Okay. Chamber was put in that as one of the big new characters. There's a lot of Generation X characters in that, actually. And then Chamber started going out with Jubilee at the end.
I see.
No! Ah! Jonathan, no! He's also a direct descendant he's a direct descendant of Apocalypse.
Okay.
Which, believe it or not, did not matter in the end. It really didn't matter. Because whatever they were going to do with it, they just ignored it. Because he's not like a major character, so even though he got a new body that looks like Apocalypse, they just didn't do anything else with him, really. They just had him turn back into this. And then they put him in an awful team book of New Mutants. Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, no. Well, at least he had a good run, so you can at least say he's your second favorite
then we have
character.
We have M.
Oh, nice.
Monet. She's the least interesting member of the team. Her whole thing is she is intelligent and fast and can fly and is strong. Also, there's one really funny panel where she's drawn and her legs are about 5 times the length of her torso. It's really funny.
Huh.
Because it was in 90s, the era of like very leggy women in comics. So,
fair.
And then we have Husk.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought Husk was like a DC character first.
See, her thing is that she can shed her skin to any material. So technically,
Oh yeah.
she took on a diamond form years before Emma Frost did.
Ah, I see why you bought her now.
I've seen her in lists of like superheroes with the weirdest powers. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, here's the thing: there was a Generation X TV movie that was trying to set up a show, and these were the two characters they left out because they couldn't afford to do their powers. So they just made up
Interesting.
They made up two new characters to replace them, who were like this guy's got super strength. How fucking boring! At least
It
be
is
creative
boring.
with the powers.
Can I see the Emma Frost one? I didn't get to see her yet. I saw the rest. Oh, okay,
Ta-da!
nice. That's very classic. Yeah, I want that outfit in the game. I don't get why we don't have her basic
Yeah,
outfit
it's-
yet.
Same as
Yeah.
as this one.
Why don't we get to have that?
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna get more Emma Frost costumes. They know people like Emma Frost.
And here's the last one.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Hey.
Too bad it's hard to give hips on action figures.
Yes.
Yeah,
from,
they're the same brand, right?
Yeah, the Hasbro ones is in the same line.
Like if she was
Nice.
a fucking gun. Oh, she's bending it. She's breaking the gun. Cool.
Yeah,
Ah, that's cool.
big 80s her She-Hulk is the best
And
She-Hulk.
big booty.
Nice.
I'll
nice.
never stop laughing at how the Shiva figure has a squishy butt and boobs.
Oh yeah, she does. Jen's got
buns of
steel.
steel.
See if you can hear it.
I can enhance the audio for you guys.
Enhance. Enhance.
She's also smiling. She's smiling. She-Hulk smiles. Crazy. Who would have ever thought?
She's also a lawyer. Who would have thought she's a lawyer?
Since you guys have been showcasing a lot of the figurines, I think a lot has happened on the vacation, which I will briefly go over because, like, for example, I think one of the cool places I went to is the in Sendai, the biggest area on the, I'm gonna say top right instead of like northeast. One area that you can go there that's actually like pretty well known and pretty fun is the, start making it lame here, making it
Whisper.
cringe and gay here with how slow I am. Here we go.
Homendry.
By the way, everyone, we were just memeing earlier. Tons of respect for the gays. Don't want anyone to think
We
that
fucking love the gays, okay, guys?
We do.
Love you guys. Mwah.
Snake even has 2
Mwah.
gay friends. So there.
Who?
I was just saying the fourth Snake even has 2 gay friends. So there.
Do I?
I was just doing the meme of like I can't be rude. I have 2 friends of blank. Insert.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you were
Aw,
insinuating
fuck.
both of us are gay, dog. Like we're his 2
We
gay
are pretty gay.
friends.
We are pretty gay. I'm pretty gay. I have been called
Combat
gay.
Queens.
Combat Queens. Okay, I went to the Fox Village, as you can see here. I sent some pictures of me holding the foxes. You can go all the way in there to like just go into an area with a bunch of foxes and hang out with them. It's really cool. And you can also pet baby foxes. These are like little baby foxes, baby cubs, which is where I got this T-shirt from, basically. 'Cause I'm like, oh, get the Fox Village.
Fox.
Get the Fox. Hey, Foxhound. Hey, nice Foxhound unit. Other than that, went to like the top right of Japan, but underneath Hokkaido. It's called Aomori, and they're very well known for their apples. So I tried a bunch of apple pie, apple ice cream, apple shake, apple cake, apple brownies, apple donuts, and some are nice, some are very good, especially apple
Don't
juice.
do this to me. I need it.
What?
I fucking love apple pie. And you made me want some now.
Oh, Aomori, man, like that's the Apple Kingdom if you want to have fun over there. And then went to the world's biggest jellyfish aquarium, which was a lot of fun. Just like 80 different types of jellyfish that you can go check out around there. Now, I have a lot of things I could say on this trip, but I want to make it like quick because it's like we've been recording for a while. So I'm going to get to the good stuff. I'm going to get to the thing that was really fun on this trip. Now, during our vacation, my brother on one of these locations found a secondhand shop. Now, it's not just an ordinary secondhand shop. It's actually a very well-known brand in Japan. And the place is called, and this is what it's actually called, Hard Off.
What?
Instead of
Hard Off.
on.
It's called Hard Off. Yes.
Party
so
on,
we go,
dudes.
So we go ahead and check out Hard Off, and You know, have you guys had like secondhand stores before? Have you experienced that and whatnot?
Yeah.
Like been to stores? Yeah, they can be like a little bit of a shop, you know, like a room, which just here's a bunch of secondhand things, like a garage sale kind of ideals.
How big was
That's not hard off. Imagine a secondhand store as big as a Costco. It is just filled to the brim with instruments, clothes, like screens, video games, and like figures, like throughout the entire place. So it's a lot of fun. And after we went to that first one, we were like, wow, this is great. And my mom at first was like, why are we wasting time at this place? We should be on our vacation. We have plans, stuff like that. The next day, she's like, okay, so here's our plans, blah, 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 blah. But before we all do that, I saw a hard off in the city. And then, I kid you not, these 17 days I went out, we went to 8 hard offs. All in different locations all around Japan. Because it's so fun just to like look for like what like niche things. I believe out of like the 8 hard offs, I bought something at 7 of them. So let me show you guys what I found here. So we've got Koopa Troopa doll here for about like maybe like $5, I guess. Got a Pokemon mug for about $1. This is pretty cute. I got some sussy bakas here. Got some sus here. Oh, when the imposter sus. It's kind of fun. And
Sonic, did you intentionally have the one with its tongue out, pointing its tongue towards the feet of the other one?
No. What?
You
You can think of things like that.
You were talking about them being sussy, so I thought, yes, it's being sus.
You're the one thinking that way. You know, we at least met quota.
It's not my fault.
We met quota at least. Oh, actually, this shirt right now you were seeing here, I got it at a hard off too. Actually, it's like pretty great, decent price, and it's like, oh, this nice blue. It looks like here. Yeah. Now for the cool shit, I was like, I really want to get something cool that I can bring back. And after looking at, I don't know, hard off number 5 or number 6, I was like, I struck gold with this one, baby. Check this shit out.
Yeah.
Yo.
Paladramon, baby! I was like disappointed with the little amount of Digimons there were. Every single hard off had Godzilla and like Kamen Riders. Tons of them. Actually, the first hard off I went to, I kid you not, had the full set of Power Rangers that are in Fortnite right now. Like just a bag of them, just the full set of them. Like, oh, that's cute. They were in Fortnite right now too. So there's a lot of those. Barely any Digimons. I was so disappointed. But then I found a hard off with like a black Omegamon, like a dark Omegamon. This guy, his evolution, and like shining Greymon. And I'm like, this is the coolest one, so I'm gonna get this motherfucker.
When I was a kid, I actually had one of the transforming figures of him, and he could transform it between being Paildramon, X-Vmon, or Stingmon. Any of the 3. It was so cool.
That's sick. This model is actually really detailed too.
I also had the Black Wall Greymon transforming one as well. So he's Black Wall Greymon who could become a Black Agumon.
Oh, wow, that's cool. But yeah, this one also can move around in like his hands and his guns and shit, and like you can take the wings off. It's a very detailed model too, so I really like this shit. You want to guess how much I bought this for? I'm trying to think how much was this actually.
I'm gonna guess, and then you need to tell me if it needs to go higher or lower. I'm going to guess about $30.
Lower.
20?
Yes, it's about $20.
Oh, damn.
Fucking good price, that.
Right? It's good condition. It's like, it's movable and all that shit. Like, this shit was very cool. I was very happy with this guy. But then on the last day, on the very last, I'll set you up later. On the very last day, I saw something and I was like, okay, I can't buy. No, I can't. But it'd be cool to have it on the podcast. But I can't buy. But Snake would compliment me. Dog would compliment me. But it's too big. And at the register, I was like, okay, time to leave here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what I got at the final hard off.
Oh my god, it's so big.
Hobby's Gilmon.
Dude, if I wish I found a Growlmon at least, but it wasn't like it didn't look the best, but at least I found a Growlmon.
Hell yeah! There he is.
Is that Scar from the movie AVP1? Or is it?
I mean, you guys are just talking about it too, just then, right?
Wait, bring it closer. Bring it closer. Let me see the mask.
Okay, mask. Here you go.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if he got he scarred his mask as well. It's Scar, because there's Scar, Chopper, and Celtic were the 3 predators.
Dang. I'm gonna start opening this right now because it's all taped up. It's in Japanese too, as you can see here.
Yeah.
You guys want to guess the price of this one? This bad boy. This is how big it is.
In box, $50.
Did you want me to say yes or did you want me to say lower or higher again?
Yeah.
Lower.
30.
Lower.
$10.
25.
It's the same price as this guy.
Yo.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I saw it and I'm like, no way, what? I think this is actually like a $60 figure online on Amazon or some shit. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's 20. I had to, yeah. So I'm gonna open it up here and just check it out. But yeah, you were showing the figures, so I thought that was cool. I was like, because this time I got a bunch of cool shit here on my table this time. Okay. I'm gonna open the Pandora's box here, and I'm just gonna talk about this thing. I hope the last topic at least. On my trip, I brought the Switch too to play Mario Kart and whatnot. But I also just in a rush, I was like, you know what? I want to play that game, and so I also bought that game on my Switch, and I played it throughout my trip. Actually, I'm still playing it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I played Metal Gear Solid for the very first time.
Nah. Hell yeah.
Metal Gear Solid. I guess I was a little bit inspired by the new game that's coming out, but yes, played the first game. Have you both played? I know, of course, Snake played it. Have you played it, Dog?
The first one? No, I've only seen people play it. I know all about it though. I know the entire game in and out, but
Gotcha.
Imagine the 4th Snake hasn't played Metal Gear Solid.
Right? It's like, imagine, hey Snake, I finally get the name now. I finally understand why you're called the 4th Snake after playing these games. I actually think, because now after playing through the first game, it is simultaneously ahead of its time and also a bit outdated simultaneously while playing the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's actually because this is also my first experience with Kojima, so I'm like, okay, now I see why people talk about this guy so highly. I get why people just keep bringing him up and stuff like that, because literally half the game is the cutscene, half the game is the story, really. So you need to get enthralled with it, and there are times when I do play the game, and once in a while, it's like when I first saved Otacon after the Grey Fox fight, I'm just like, oh my gosh, are you fucking kidding me? This 10-minute cutscene? What?
Oh, it gets crazier. It gets crazier later on in the series.
That's what I mean. Eventually, I'm just like, I can't pause now, can I? So maybe I need to do something. Oh my gosh, they're still talking.
that's one of the big downsides with the Master Collection is the fact that it's not like a brand new port; it's emulation or a pre-existing port. So, Snake Eater Delta, yes, you can pause the cutscenes, you can pause the radio calls, all that stuff. Good, finally. Those other ones, no. If you want to, the only way you can pause the codec is if you press triangle to turn it into a visual novel, basically, where you have to read it, go through. One by one.
They just stopped talking.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I was like, that's a lame way to make it faster, but I didn't really do that because I like the voice acting in the game and stuff. Luckily on the Switch, if I press the home menu, it does pause it, so that at least that can help. But there definitely were times where I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is definitely this is still going on and whatnot.
Oh, here's a cool thing actually is so with MGS Delta, they've brought back the Guy Savage dream sequence, which for those who don't know, in MGS3 originally, when you save the game, the idea is that you go to sleep. So if you do that if you do that during the prison sequence, you're doing this little character action game. And it's no one really knew what it was supposed to be. I think it was at least speculated to be a demo for a game that never came out. But then for the HD collection, they removed it for whatever reason. They remade it for the remake, and Platinum Games did it. And they did Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So
yes,
looking at this, it's it seems pretty likely then that Master Collection 2, or if they do 3, will have Revengeance on it. Because that was always in question, because it's made by a different team. Do they have the rights? But if they're working with Platinum, they probably are also being like, yeah, let's get this great game also put forward to current systems.
Nice.
Because Revengeance is really fucking good.
So like I feel like the game is like, oh, it's supposed to be like a stealth espionage and also some action type kind of game. But I also do like how the game sometimes kind of breaks, I don't want to say break the fourth wall, but breaks the formula sometimes and just like does things that's like, oh, I don't really feel like I would be experiencing this in other games, but like Kojima's trying to tell me a story. Oh, that's so cool! Snake and Meryl, that's awesome. There's a lot of fourth wall breaks that impresses me. I'm like, what do you mean look behind the CD for like Meryl's code and stuff like that? That's honestly like, whoa, that's so interesting detail.
It's one of those things that doesn't really work now in digital version, but basically for those who don't know,
yes.
During the game, because it started in the original Metal Gear 2, it was from that as well. A lot of things in Metal Gear Solid are from Metal Gear 2, where in order to avoid piracy, you'd be told to call a certain character on the radio, and you wouldn't be told what the radio frequency is. You'd just be told, look at the back of the box. So you look at the back of the box. Oh, there's a screenshot that shows the character's frequency, and they brought that back for Metal Gear Solid with Meryl. So it's like, look at the back of the CD case. The Twin Snakes also has that, because it's the remake of the first one, so they have that as well. And it's funny because if you have this, you can just look down and go, okay, there's the frequency.
Yeah.
I think in the Master Collection there is like a digital manual you can look at which has the frequencies. So no, that's fine.
Yes. That's how you're supposed to do it. I just kind of like looked it online and be like, oh, like kind of like the moment. Psycho Mantis too, of course. You know that whole.
Even this coaster I got from Etsy is one of the screenshots.
Oh, that's so cool. What's it called? Psycho Mantis. Actually, that's one thing I also must say about the game is this game is surprisingly kind of hard. Like it's really easy to die, like surprisingly, and like many boss fights, and just like if you don't know what you're doing, you are just dead. Like the Psycho Mantis fight, like I knew about the player 2 controller thing, but even then, like I still kind of struggled throughout that fight and whatnot. But then I also had like a really good like aha moment when I was like, okay, he's invisible now. How am I supposed to shoot him here? And he just pops in and shoots me. I have no time to shoot him. And I'm like, wait a second. It kind of does this meta thing where when I do first person, I'm looking through someone else's perspective. Like I look through Meryl and I can look through him and I'm like, oh, I know where he is. If I press first person, you're there. First person, you're there. And that's how I defeated him. That was a really great aha moment that I found out there.
Man, the more you mention that, the more I'm just impressed at how ahead of its time that game was. Like, my lord.
Yes.
Kojima really understood better than anybody how to take advantage of the game itself as a medium in his storytelling, and he does it a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Psycho Mantis, it's such a good sequence because, like, for those that don't know, there's a part where Psycho Mantis will read your mind, and if you've played certain Konami games, he'll comment on those games. Like, oh, you played Silent Hill, for example, or you're a fan of Symphony of the Night. Then in the GameCube remake, it's you like Super Smash Bros. And The Legend of Zelda, and it's just a fun way to freak people out. And then there's this really good bit where he says, "Oh, put your controller on the floor, and if you've got a vibration feature, put it on the floor, and I'll move the controller with my mind." And the same thing is used later after the torture sequence, where you're told, "Put the controller on your shoulder," and then it vibrates like give you like a little massage after you've done the.
Yes.
It's so clever.
Does that make you feel better or something like that? Yeah.
It's so creative. You can see why it really took off back in the day.
I would say, like I said about the more older gamey stuff, so it's like the game, in my opinion, I actually don't think the level design is like amazing because I feel like some of the stealth sections are actually pretty basic in that first game, and then when there are some sections where I'm like, you need to start backtracking, I'm like, okay, and I go back and whatnot, and then when the scene where when Meryl gets shot and then it's like, where's a sniper rifle? Oh, it's all the way there. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Do you really want me to just leave Meryl here or like walk all the way back there to get the sniper rifle?
Yeah. Yes,
like,
it does.
I'm like,
that's exactly
oh boy.
what it was to
do, hide the mines. And it's like some things don't change much. At least there's a minefield at least, so that was a bit more interesting. But yes, it's like it makes me do all that. The one that I was like, I actually had to be like, are you actually serious with me? Was when it was like, you actually have all 3 keys in your hand. It just depends on the temperature. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm thinking, okay, I know how to make it cold. How do I make it no. You do not want me to go back there. Are you serious? And I had that feeling. So it's like that was a bit of like a, oh man. However, I will say, a lot of these outdated stuff and a lot of the like that section is carried by the story, because I actually was pretty into the story. That I did not mind the backtracking, because while that was happening, the Naomi twist is happening. They were explaining like, hey, Naomi might be like a traitor. I'm like, what? Because that was something I didn't expect, honestly. So I thought, spoilers, by the way. Sorry about this. This 98 game. I'm gonna spoil some things about like my experience and whatnot.
How dare
but I was,
you son of a bitch!
I was very into that. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I wasn't expecting. I knew about Master not being. Hell, I knew about Master being liquid in my playthrough pretty early on. I was like, okay, I can kind of tell where this is going.
The thing is, the twin snakes actually added an alternate way to change the temperature. In Rex's hangar, there's an area you can drop down to, and it has two pipes, one with steam and one with liquid nitrogen. You shoot it, it hits you, you take a bit of damage, but then it instantly changes the temperature.
Ah, interesting. Interesting.
So it just cuts down so much of the backtracking. It's great.
That's nice. I also like the rat bit. I didn't get it, but I did look it up. I'm like, okay, that's funny that you can have a rat take your disc after Revolver Ocelot shoots it out of your hand and stuff like that. By the way, I kind of mentioned this a bit, but I do actually like the story. I kind of like how many twists and turns constantly keep happening. I keep playing this game, I'm like, this is a very simple mission. And by the end, I'm like, motherfucker, I don't want to work for you, the Colonel. You keep backstabbing and lying to me and all. It's like, I got a point. I'm like, am I? They want to blow me up even if I complete this mission. Should I really even work with them? There's a little bit of that. Although at the end, Colonel does say it's like, oh, they have like using Marrow against me. I'm like, okay, Colonel. Jeez, fine. I guess you're okay backstabbing me a couple times. Here's a question I want to ask, Mr. like big fan of the Metal Gear series. Is it weird that I don't really like Marrow as a character in the first game?
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I hate her, but I mean, I'm just looking at her, I'm like, okay, she's a character who tries to like, I'm not that weak, I'm better than you expect, but then constantly fails. She like fails against the Psycho Mantis fight, she fails against being like capture sword, like the codec doesn't work. Then she gets shot by Sniper Wolf, and then she kind of becomes like a like a damsel in distress throughout the entire, like, your goal.
Well, here's a couple of things I'll put into perspective. Meryl is 18 years old. It's easy to miss that fact, but she is 18. She's just become an adult. But because Snake is this legendary soldier who worked with her uncle a few years ago, and so she's kind of come from this like this military background, and she's her father was also in the military. I think his name is Matthew Campbell, and so there's all that going on, and she's heard of these stories with Snake, so she really wants to impress him, and and she wants to prove that it's in her blood, basically. The whole family is military. She wants to prove herself, but she's just really not cut out for it. She gets better. True. When she comes back
at
in
the
MGS4.
end, at the very end, like I do think, okay, at least you're helping out here. You seem more competent and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, she does break me out at least. That's true.
Yeah, and then she comes back in MGS4, and she's a lot better there.
That's good. Okay, I didn't know if she shows up again, because I'm glad if that's the case, then that's good. Because I felt like in the first game she is like trying to prove herself, but she's being more of a reliant, and she's a character who seems like she's elevating other characters. It's like, oh no, Meryl's caught, we gotta save her. Everybody cares about Meryl now because she's like the damsel in distress, that kind of like aspect. And like I just kind of unfortunately just felt like her character is just, I'm gonna say this is because the exact opposite of how I feel about Meryl is Otacon. I felt like Otacon is like what I kind of wish Meryl went through, because Otacon starts off also kind of like a bit of a wimp who, I want to try my best, stuff like that. And it's like when I'm playing the game, I'm like, oh, you're actually useful. Like, you're actually giving me a lot of useful information. You're helping me hack things. You are growing as a character as the story progresses. And like, he's kind of my favorite character in the franchise right now because of like where he goes and stuff like that. And I'm like, I kind of wish a little bit more with that, with like Marrow and stuff like that.
Did you get both endings?
I saw the other one. Yes,
okay.
I did see the other one.
Which one did you actually get in your playthrough?
Of course I saved Meryl. Come on.
Hell
of course. I had to break my fingers, put the switch on.
Infinite ammo.
Make sure.
So do you know that if you do New Game Plus after saving Meryl, you get the Infinity Bandana ammo? Infinity Ammo Bandana.
Oh, this I'm not sure. What does that do?
Yeah, it's a bandana you can equip and it gives you infinite ammo.
This I didn't know. That's fun.
Yeah, and if you get the Otacon ending instead, you get the stealth camo.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's cool. I actually really like the two differing endings. It's like how much they commit to that, and also it's like even the Otacon ending was like kind of touching. It's like, wow, Otacon, you're such a bro. that kind of way and whatnot. Call me David. Call me Hal.
They make a funny joke about the fact that they've got the same names as Hal and Dave from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, I completely. Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's what they're referencing. Like Kojima likes to do that, like Raiden and his girlfriend are Jack and Rose, like
yes,
Titanic.
Yes. But yeah, and one last thing I would say is kind of like what I was saying. The levels are kind of basic, so it's a bit unfortunate because I really like the stealth like mechanics, but I actually felt like eventually it became quite basic, like because of the environments weren't changing like too much. It wasn't remixed a lot, and it's like I just felt like once you go through it once, you know what to do, and I felt like I kind of wished it especially later on in the game, the stealth really didn't matter. It just became more action packed and stuff like that. Now, ironically, this kind of was a bit more helped in the VR missions because I'm like, okay, you have more scenarios here, you have more stealth things you can do, but I didn't play too many of them because I was at that point I was thinking I could do these, but I could also just play MGS2 right now. So I instead opt to the latter. And like I said, I like MGS1. Some outdated things, but I appreciate the outdatedness of that game. I appreciate. Oh, I gotta mention this too. I fucking love the codec calls. Half the game, I'm just like listening to everybody's information about the codec calls. It's like a funny little group chat who's like watching in on you and having their little reactions and stuff like that. It's like, what do you think about this, Colonel? What do you think about this, like Natasha and whatnot? I like sometimes how the codec calls get interrupted. Like the master be like, sorry, I had to interrupt this call because this is getting pathetic or something. I forgot what he says that, but it's like people join in on the calls and stuff. I just love that. I think that's so cool that you can just call them anytime and sometimes get more different interactions.
Mm-hmm.
I also
you can also call them when
MGS2.
you're using the bathroom, right? And that gives a funny dialogue in one of the games, I think.
The women's bathroom. Like Natasha
Snake,
and Mei Ling will be very pissed at you.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
I think Mei Ling actually, if you go into the women's and call Mei Ling, I think she refuses to save your game for a while.
She'll say, I'm not gonna save your game, but you can still. Oh really? Wait, afterwards?
I think so.
Because she still saves it in the bathroom, but like she'll be pissed about it.
I'm sure there is a section where it's like she's. I might be thinking of Rose in No, I think it's a specific thing you do in MGS2 where Rose will get upset and won't save the game for a while.
Now, let me talk about MGS2. When the moment I start with the tanker mission with Snake, that beginning part, I'm just like, thank you. Now this is the stealth I want. The complaints I had in the first game with that stealth, in this second game, mwah, love it so much more. In fact, I actually felt like I love that second game. I really like second game. I had a great time with that one. So many things in that game. I'm like much more. It's a lot more smoother to play the game, and a lot more outdated edges. I feel like a lot more fun in the gameplay. And look at that Raiden. There he is. There's Raiden.
My tiny boy.
My gosh, Kojima is fucking insane with that second game's plot. It's like, what the fuck was he on when around that third act, especially? I was constantly getting blown away.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how accurate it is to how the internet turned out.
This is 2001.
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, this is really like ahead of its time. What these topics he's going through in this second game and whatnot.
Yeah, the only thing he couldn't predict was 9/11. Do you know the story there, Sonic?
This I'm not too sure. What do you mean by that?
So, MGS1 came out in September 2001 and centers on terrorists operating around New York City.
Wait, MGS. Oh!
Yeah, the game was going to come out a couple of weeks after what ended up being the World Trade Center terrorist attack.
Oh, wow.
So, that's why when Arsenal Gear is rocketing towards the city, it suddenly cuts to you and Solid is just falling off it onto the rooftop. Because that entire scene had to get cut. Because I think it had already gone gold, and they had to recall all the copies and just remove those scenes to have the same release date. And then, if you notice that weird bit where Raiden's just like with his sword and just goes like that, for no reason, he was cutting down an American flag. Because it's supposed to be an American flag that he'd cut down that would float down onto Solidus's body. But they removed it because of 9/11. And then there's also...
That's funny.
There's also meant to be a scene at the end where there'd be a cameo by a Police Knots character, this other game Kojima made, which is actually where Meryl...
Oh, Police Knots, yes.
Yeah, which is where Meryl came from. It was meant to be a character, Karen Hojo, from that, as a news reporter, reporting on the incident, but you would have seen like, all the devastation of New York behind her, so that had to get scrapped as well. But like...
Wow.
Like that stuff, it is in the comic adaptation, so if you watch the MGS2 digital graphic novel that is in the Master Collection... You'll see that being adapted there. Like the ending itself is
insane.
They changed a bunch of other stuff from the ending, which is awful, but that stuff getting to be there is cool. And if they ever do remake MGS2, I hope they'll put that back in. Because it's very unfortunate that things turn out the way. But there was this thing with MGS2's re-release on PS2 called the Documents of Metal Gear Solid 2, where you could look at all the environments, all the character models, and you can look at the environment of the devastated New York, and you can see where a bunch of buildings have been leveled or knocked over. You can see the actual devastation. It's like, yeah, I can see why you've removed this right after 9/11. Holy shit.
That's insane. But yeah, I was like, I would say though, I already knew about the controversy, the fact that Snake is not the main character, and after that tanker section, you're just playing as Raiden. By the way, I must say, one of my favorite parts in that entire game was when you had to take the pictures of the Metal Gear. I fucking loved that section. I only had 30 seconds left too during that mission, so I felt the intensity of that. But I thought it was amazing where it's just like, let's stretch our necks a bit here. Left. Oh my gosh, are you fucking doing this right now? And that one scene where it's like, intruder on the left, win! Oh shit, he's faking it. Oh my gosh. Awesome part. I really did love that. But yeah, so I knew about the controversy about Raiden being the main character and stuff like that, so that I had a heads up about that situation. I actually also liked how Snake kind of became like your partner throughout the entire story. He's still very important in the story. What's his name? What's his fake name again?
Pliskin.
Yeah. I actually like that. I think that was really cool. I will say, throughout the game, there are parts where it's like, we're on a very intense and serious part of the mission, and it's like, I gotta save my game. Jack, do you remember what day it is today? Jack, do you love me? Do you care about me, actually? Rose, we're on a mission here. Oh, yeah, you're so sweetheart. Stuff like that. And then once in a while, Colonel will be like, stay on the mission, you two. Like, jeez, get a room. Throughout the mission, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I will say, I wasn't vibing with Raiden as much as like with Snake, because it's like, okay, he just seems like a punk kid with like a girlfriend who's like lovey-dovey and stuff like that. But then when the third act hits, I'm like, okay, the twist, like the fact that Raiden had this past, and the fact that Rose actually was working with the Patriots, I'm like, okay, now all that lovey-dovey stuff becomes a lot more worth it for this payoff around here. Now I kind of like this and whatnot. I'm still kind of like, I can't believe he did a twist within a twist within a twist at that like last section after you defeat like the 20 like rays, and it's like Solidus reveals that shit, and then Ocelot reveals that shit, and then Liquid reveals that shit. I'm like, what the fuck, Kojima? I was like watching that whole cutscene. I remember by the time I was gonna fight Solidus, I'm like, bro, why are we fighting? You're pawns in this basically. Why would we fight? We should be working together at this point. And then Solidus is like, I killed your parents. Fine, I guess we'll fight. But yeah, I vibe with it. I love Metal Gear Solid 2. I actually really like that game personally. And just started 3. I'm very early in that game, so I have no idea what to expect. I just got betrayed by the boss, so and I healed myself. That's it. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna slowly enjoy that one, because I've heard very good things about 3. And I'm actually already, the fact that the game starts off with you not being like top down, and it's like I can control my character in the Force. I'm like, oh shit, this is very different. Yeah. Already.
That's the thing, is that was added in the re-release on PS2, because the original version was if you click in the right stick, you can go to the fixed camera perspective. That's all you had in the original version.
Interesting. So
and it plays way worse.
Okay. No,
So,
okay, that's good.
So basically, it's like MGS. Snake Eater is like a 9 out of 10. Subsistence is a 10 out of 10. Basically, like that really is. It's so much better.
Oh, that helps it a lot.
Oh,
Okay.
And then if you want, you can play the 3DS version, which has like over the shoulder aiming. As well, and then you have this new version as well. So there's like 4 different ways you can play MGS3 now.
That's cool.
MGS.
What would you rank the 3 games though, Snake? Because I'm assuming you like all 3.
Yeah. Oh, that's tricky.
Oh, so you value all 3 very highly. I mean, like almost on par. Is that what I'm hearing here?
I'd probably say 3 is the best one overall. But I think 2 is actually has like a really good plot elements. There are certain things where it's like, because it's not just Kojima trying to give this message about like the internet and whatnot. It's also about like satire on sequels.
Yes. It was great. I felt that too. Yes, it's like we're doing this all again. Have you noticed and stuff like that? And like, wow. It's like fourth wall breaking, but also still in context of the universe. I love that. I absolutely did love that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love all that stuff. It's one of the things where a lot of people didn't like MGS2. I think it took years for it to really get the appreciation it deserved.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Oh, I was very emotional for Otacon in the Emma scene too. I did not expect that when that happened. I was like, oh fuck, that's so. I literally looked it up, being like, is this in the Meryl situation where I got a bad ending here? Oh no. That happens. That actually happened.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and when Otacon reveals his backstory, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like when he says the mom thing, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, wow.
It's like, oh my god.
This is really. I felt emotional for Otacon and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's one of the things that in like all the future games you're gonna keep in mind. Like, oh yeah, that's a thing in Otacon's backstory. Is like, oh no.
He did blurt that out. Yeah, I was like, what? That's damn, that's serious.
Yeah, they kind of like tone it down a bit with the word relationship, but like, it's not a relationship, Hal. Like, I wouldn't want to tell him that just because it might be his way of coping with the trauma. But holy shit, that is awful.
Yeah, I mean, like, I view it as trauma. Definitely, he said he left because of that situation, so it's definitely a lot. At least from what I'm hearing, he got groomed. But I don't know. I don't know if there's more information about this in the future or not.
Huh.
I don't think they address it again, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, so you would say 3, 2 are like you like 3 more a little bit, and 2 is up there too.
Yeah. That's my opinion too. Having not played the games but watched full playthroughs of them, that's my vibe.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is
and then 4 is very divisive for people. I thought it was still cool, but
yeah.
I heard fans like 4, or like it's barely. I don't know. I just heard it's like. Yeah, I just heard most people I know like 4 from what I heard.
4 has problems. It's overall good, but there's like 9 hours of cutscenes, which in like 2008 that wasn't normal. It's like the game takes about in my experience it took like 3 to 4 hours per act generally, and there's like 5 acts. So
yeah.
Ironically, I really want to get into 4 because like 2 kinda ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
it's like you stop Solidus, but so what? Kind of a feeling. I'm like, but I kind of need to know what happens next. But then the next game is the prequel.
Well, that was supposed to be it. Kojima wasn't planning to actually follow up on any of that stuff, but fans sent him death threats.
What the frick?
All right, fellas. We gotta wrap this up. My camera's dying again.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna place this here. Holy shit! Look at that badass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna just. It's so heavy. Oh my goodness gracious! I was asked this. Maybe this is a manufacturer thing. Is this claw supposed to be bent?
No.
Like that? That might be why it's a little cheaper then. Maybe I can bend it back. But yeah, fucking sick. But yeah, it was been a while since I chat with you guys. AKA I missed an episode. Did get some fun conversations in here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So you've been quiet for a while, dog. You got anything you want to say before we wrap up?
I mean, I never played the Metal Gear Solid games. I did watch people play all of them, and I'm pretty up to snuff on the story. I know what's going on, but yeah, no, I was clocking out there for a bit. Just looking at really cool concept art on Pinterest and some really cool ideas for like comic book stuff, but also I was writing down ideas for other videos and stuff while y'all were chatting about that. I hope the audience enjoyed it.
There are a couple of new videos that Dog is planning behind the scenes that he's teased that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing. Cough cough, like the popular character or the Mount. Oh right, that was a topic we had. The Mount Everest. That may be some other time.
Mount Everest. Huh.
Wait, did I say that? Oh no, not Mount Everest.
Fuji?
Is it Mount Everest? The four faces. How the frick Mount Everest? The four faces.
Rushmore.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was funny. What that showed me is that people don't understand what Mount Rushmore is. They all thought it was like a popularity contest when it's supposed to be like the founding members of something. But yeah, so.
Yeah,
or rather just like the really
topic for
influential
the day.
people throughout history. So I was like, people are treating it like a popularity contest, and it's like I get it because I feel the same way sometimes. Like, for example, people will do a Mount Rushmore and they'll put like Wonder Woman up there for DC, and I'm like, that feels right to me because I think Wonder Woman should be up there. We need at least one lady. But also, if you compare her to other superheroes, she's not even in the top 10 in terms of popularity. She has like fake popularity. Yeah. I call it fake popularity because you see a lot of movies and stuff that have her in it and all that where they shove her in. But realistically, her comic book sales have never been up there with like the other characters.
Yeah, like, it's quite telling that when they did the big reinventions of three big heroes in the 90s, basically incapacitate or kill off the hero, replace him with someone else to fight this new villain who beat them. It's Superman, Batman, Green Lantern. Not Wonder Woman. She didn't get a story like that because no one gave a shit.
Yeah, unfortunately. And it's kind of the same with Sonya, where I get that she's not even in the top 10 most popular, probably. Unless we include the normies, then maybe she is because like she's in the movies. But I still think she should be on Mount Rushmore because she's a founding like member of the games. She's up there. I'm not going to put Kano up there. Like he's in the first games too, but he's not.
I feel like Sonya is a competition between Raiden. Like that's always like the conversation because it's like Sonya or Raiden or even Liu Kang. You can almost like battle between these three.
Yeah.
Like Liu Kang is the main character. That's why it's kind of hard to like replace him. Especially Now
I will say story-wise, Kitana and Sonya are both terrible. Like in most of the games, they do nothing or get captured. Like they have very little role in most of the games. I've made those tier list videos where I rank them in every game. And with Sonya, it's an extra curious one to me because she's literally named after Ed Boon's sister, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that she'd do a lot of cool shit. But no, she's just getting captured all the time. And then I almost thought about including this as a joke, but I'm like, no, that joke goes too far. I thought about saying, guys, do you think that Tobias is really attracted to Ed Boon's sister and keeps putting her in like BDSM dom situations where she's chained up or something?
That's definitely a weird joke. I wouldn't even put it in the episode,
sorry, no, dog. Maybe I should censor that.
I didn't believe it. I just thought it'd be a funny joke. Like, you guys, have you noticed that Tobias keeps chaining up like Sonya? He really likes her chained up. And then he even dressed her up in a cute outfit in the movie.
Well, the thing is, cause like Sonya's based on like a real like martial arts competitor, and apparently John Tobias is like respects her a lot or something is the way it was worded. So, I mean, there could be something to it. I just wouldn't put in the Ed Boon sister part.
No, I didn't add that.
Yeah, that's a little
I
bit
did not.
weird.
I said I prefaced the joke by saying I didn't put it in, but I momentarily joked about putting it in.
Like, I don't like saying the N word, so now I'm gonna say it.
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
And on that note,
she's not worse than Nina. At least I'll give you that.
I don't know, man. I guess she is better than Nina because she at least has some confirmed Ws. Like in MK3, apparently she threw Kano off a rooftop, and supposedly he was dead, which is why he doesn't appear in MK4, and we have Jarek instead. But then he's just magically back in Deadly Alliance, so I don't know.
Well, he's not magically back. It is explained in Conquest that Motaro saved him, and then while he was being nursed back to health, Shiva killed Motaro, made a deal with Kano to... Yeah, then Shiva made a deal with Kano to betray Shao Kahn, but then he was meant to be the distraction. He secretly sold her out to Shao Kahn, so when she entered the room, Shao Kahn ran her through with a sword, and that's how Kano became a general.
Huh.
That's why.
So
that's
when
why
you say
Shiva...
Conquest, do you mean the show, or do you mean like
tutorial mode
for Deception?
Deadly Alliance.
Oh yeah, did Deadly Alliance have that too?
Yeah, it's just like 10 challenges where it's like, well, it teaches you like here's these moves and combos for this style.
Oh yeah, I
here's ones for
totally
this
forgot
style.
about that.
Yeah, that's where Conquest started. But it was
It was such a
Sonya
forgettable
has
thing.
some legacy. Come on,
Like,
that's why she's definitely better than
That's
Nina.
But still,
That's
I
what I
mean,
mean.
Kano is gone in MK4, and MK3
Yes.
supposedly he dies. So I think that I include that in the video. How yes, he's alive later, but I do think that maybe the idea at one point was for him to be dead, and Sonya killed him. So that's a pretty big deal when you think about how she killed one of the original characters in that game, supposedly.
Yeah.
I also make a joke saying the game doesn't say how she tossed him off the building, so I like to imagine it was the leg grab.
Well, we do actually see it. One of the art pieces you can find, one of the renders in the crypt, is her kicking him off.
Aw, lame.
Yeah,
I want it to be the leg grab.
It's just a high kick, but
It's not something he won, so it's lame.
If you notice Kano's necklace in the 3D era, it's like a lock of her hair because he rips it out of her head during that encounter, and then she kicks him off the roof, and he kept it with him.
That is something
Kano's-
Kano would do. He would like sniff the
yeah.
hair and be like, "Here's the woman that almost killed me." Ugh.
Sonya,
Like he would
Sonya.
love that stuff. Sonya.
especially in
Hello,
MK11
baby.
Kano.
Did you miss
MK11
me?
Kano's such a freak.
Hello.
Which one? Sorry.
MK11 Kano always just pisses on the stage and goes, "Do you want some of me sausage? I could eat a peach for hours." Like he's such a freak. It's so funny.
That's true. They really cranked him up to 11 in that game, which is hilarious.
It's also funny how that's the game where like all these like gay men were like, you know what, Kano's the guy for me. It's like, really, this guy?
Look, people like bad boys, you know.
Look,
People
just
like,
because he's shirtless
can
and
fix
hairy and he's like a bear.
Yeah, he's a
you know?
bear. That's
Yeah,
what it actually is.
Just
Yeah.
because of that doesn't mean you should look
I
past
can
the fact
fix
that he
him
just
type kind of characters.
He'll piss on your floor, guys. Come on, have higher standards.
Dirty boys. To be
Listen,
fair, I
he's a
can
bear.
fix him has
He's
now
a
been the
bear.
Bihan's like motive. Everybody like who loves Bihan, I can fix him. Like everybody who draws fan art to him on Twitter.
Don't
and
mention
whatnot.
Bihan. You're gonna get me angry at how terribly he was used in Mortal Kombat 1. Like you're gonna get me angry. So let's just end the video soon. We gotta end the podcast soon. I gotta go.
Okay, hang on. I got a call here. Hi, I like to save the game here. Okay. Oh, here's an interesting ancient Chinese proverbs. Subscribe to Kombat Kings. What that means is that you get good luck if you subscribe to Kombat Kings.
Nice. Cool.
I'm Chinese, so I get to make that joke.
That's a good way to end it. It'd be cool if you do the whole effect, like the whole Metal Gear Solid effect. That'd be really cool if you commit to that.
I could try. I could try that actually. I don't
Yeah.
mind that. That seems kind of cute.
Ah, Colonel, clap my ass.
Clap my cheeks. Keep alerting SonicHaXD.
Those Metal Gear 1 like edits of like Liquid Snake talking are so good. Have you seen those?
Which one?
Liquid Snake explains Big Chungus.